just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hello, friends. The Monty Show live on Wednesday, April 29th, 2026. As always, we are presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365. And I tell you every day on this show, the advocates operate with empathy, understanding, caring, concern. They understand that when you've been in an accident and you're injured, it's one of the worst situations in your life. Let's be frank about it. Who calls an injury attorney on a good day, right? Pretty much nobody. That's why the advocates are ready to serve you when you need them, and where you need them is at a hospital room, your home, your office, you name it. The advocates will be there for you. All you have to do is get to theadvocates.com, where you can chat with an injury attorney 24/7, 365. No AI chat bots. No, we'll be right with you. No, friends. Just a live injury attorney. And the best part is you get clear, risk-free advice, and you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates, because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. All right. I guess every day on this show now, we'll just start with whatever concocted, like, sensational headline we can find out of West Texas, because it feels like Cody Campbell has taken over this show and taken over college football. The constant, we don't want to play on Thursday night. How dare you? I'm an oil man. Watch Landman. Cody Campbell's amazing, right? Like, that seems like Texas Tech, college football, Texas Tech, the entirety of the universe happens in Lubbock. And I got to be honest with you. What is the obsession with Texas Tech? Because I don't get it. I think it's because Cody Campbell is allegedly a billionaire. Even though his baseball program's completely broke at Texas Tech, Cody Campbell's a gazillionaire. And I don't understand this obsession that we have with Texas Tech and Cody Campbell. Jake, what am I missing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're missing anything. I think that, you know, the obsession, if you will, is largely, you know, a fan base around this football team that hasn't seen a lot of success in a while. They win the conference one time, and all of a sudden they think that they're the kings of the Big 12. And, you know, they feel a certain self-importance. And again, it's not to say that they're bad people, but it's just like, dude, like, you guys think that because you won one season and you put a couple of guys in the NFL that all of a sudden you're just like, you know, the best thing since, you know, sliced bread was invented. And I don't really understand it. I mean, I get the premise of, like, if you go back before they won the conference, if you go back to just, because I felt like the coming out party was paying Najee Kennedy from Stanford to come and pitch in your softball program. That was when Cody Campbell sort of made himself known to the college athletics world. And a lot of people reacted negatively to that. A lot of people say, whoa, what are we doing paying $1 million to a softball pitcher? Like, that's kind of, you know, that's kind of shady. That's kind of like, what are we doing? And it's just been like one thing after another since then. And it's culminated with the Brendan Sorsby situation. And, you know, obviously we're going to get into it, but this situation is getting worse for you by the day. And it's just this whole thing where it's like one thing happens, then we get the details. It's not a great look. And it's like, you're just begging for football season to start so Cody Campbell can, you know, be put on the back burner for now with all the stuff that he likes to say.
Yeah, I think Cody Campbell is very good for Texas Tech. Clearly, obviously with his money, obviously with the way he funds football. But I think you're seeing with this Brendan Sorsby situation, and if somehow you have missed this or you're under a rock, Texas Tech, University of Cincinnati, Indiana gambling bro, Brendan Sorsby, checked himself into a residential treatment facility for a gambling addiction. The problem is, it appears now very likely that, according to our sources close to the Big 12, Brendan Sorsby's never going to play another college football game, because it appears very likely that the Big 12 will not clear Brendan Sorsby for competition unless substantially new evidence emerges that clears him of betting on college football.
Oh.
According to the reports in the media and according to, widely held beliefs, that's going to be next to impossible. Because if you believe the reports, and again, I say allegedly just because I don't think anything is in concrete until Brendan Sorsby has his press conference begging for forgiveness where he admits that he bet on football.
Until it's on the record.
But the reports say, hey, he bet on Indiana while he was on the roster at Indiana. He was a massive gambler, according to reports, at Cincinnati, where he's alleged to have gone to Great American Ballpark during Reds games and was such a gambling addict that he was betting cash on every pitch. Like, think about that. You're sitting in a ballpark watching the Cincinnati Reds and betting on every single pitch. At that point, are you even watching baseball? I would guess you're not. And then you likely know the story that Brendan Sorsby transfers to Texas Tech with a lot of hubbub and fanfare, refuses to pay Cincinnati the $1 million buyout that is part of his contract with the Bearcats and NIL, and then just goes silent. Cincinnati sues Sorsby. This week, Sorsby's attorneys answered that suit in court, and they said, well, we don't like the buyout clause in the $1 million penalty, so it's unlawful and we're not going to pay it. And then, of course, the news happens. Brendan Sorsby checks himself into gambling addiction rehab facility place. It appears he bet on college football. And now our sources close to the Big 12 are telling us that Brett Yormark, who's been heavily involved in this situation, according to our sources, is not going to clear Brendan Sorsby for competition unless substantially new evidence emerges that proves Brendan Sorsby never bet on college football. This is a disaster for Texas Tech in a lot of ways. I think it is absolutely egg on your face. This is you pissing into a fan and having it blow right back on you. Essentially, you and all of your money cannot buy you out of this. You're losing a guy in Baron Morton for Will Hammond, who I want to make very clear. Kid has got skills. He can throw the football. If he hadn't gotten hurt last year, I think there's a chance Brendan Sorsby never happens in Lubbock. But he did, so he did, and now here we are. And I think it's a wreck for Texas Tech. I don't know how you fix this. You have put in place now with the NCAA these ghost transfer penalties, which essentially is, Morse code for tampering. So you can't just go into the portal and find Jimmy the quarterback.
Tampering.
And it ain't like there's dudes just chilling looking for jobs out there.
Tampering.
So you're in a bind. You need Will Hammond to be that guy. You need him to be him. That's what you need from a guy who's never been asked to be himmy. And now you need him to be everything. And he's talented enough. He's capable enough. We've seen it. Does he have the offensive staff around him to develop him very quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a measure on Joey. I think that the whole situation just puts the offense in a tough position, and the defense was already going to be in a tough position given that you had turnover with the draft. So, I'm not saying that they're not going to be good. I'm not saying that Tech sucks at all, because they don't. They're going to be good, no question about it. But I just think when you're talking about rinsing and repeating from last season, there's just some question marks you're going to have to figure out. Now, I've been championing Will Hammond for a minute. I don't have any doubt that the guy's going to be good. I do think the fact that he's coming off of the ACL, is an interesting, that's an interesting injury to be coming back from. ACL injuries as a quarterback, can be not a big deal. If your rehab goes really well and you're diligent in that area, which I'm guessing he is, it may not even be a big deal. Other guys struggle with it. So I think it's a little different than having a UCL as an injury or some type of upper body injury or whatever it might be. So, I just think we need to see what it looks like. If we get, if Will Hammond comes out looking comfortable in the offense and they look fine, then Tech will be fine. But again, this is the mantra I've lived and died on with football teams, man. If you have questions at quarterback, you're not going far. The good teams don't have questions at quarterback. And that to me is what's dominated this offseason for Texas Tech. Now, the good news is the attention's off of Will Hammond, right? I mean, everyone's talking about Sorsby and this whole situation. So at least he's chilling in the background right now. But, as we get into August and September and we get into the later part of summer, that's going to ratchet back up. So, we'll just have to see. But I find it funny that Cody Campbell's out here on Twitter multiple times over the last, several months or whatever, talking about how he didn't do this and don't accuse me of that. And it just is this whole deal where I feel like you've built this reputation for yourself of, hey, I have a lot of money. We're going to spend a lot of money. Tech is all about it. This is what we do. And then the moment someone calls you out on Twitter for allegedly, funding the $1 million PR campaign, yada, 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 you're like, no, absolutely not. I would never do anything like that. And if you're going to accuse me of that, use a better photo. First of all, the photo is not bad, dude. So if you're going to drop that line, it needs to fit the accusation, because if this is not a bad photo of you. But secondly, you can't escape the fact that you're the guy that spends a bunch of money in college athletics, and that's your reputation. And we've been seeing this a lot lately, dude.
But I don't want to go too far. I don't believe that Cody Campbell's out here funding PR campaigns on social media. Who are you, Russian bots? I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Why would he do that? What possible good comes from that? What's the win for Cody Campbell spending that all money, boy, to fund some PR campaign about Cincinnati and Sorsby and
to distract it from Texas Tech? That's the obvious reason you would do this.
Texas Tech has no exposure here.
Texas Tech
is
Yes, they
do.
Beyond the fact that they knew about it.
You think they knew about him? There's no evidence here that says they knew. There's no evidence that says they knew about his Indiana situation. There's no evidence that said that they knew he planted his ass at the ballpark and was betting pitch to pitch at Great American Ballpark. Should they have known? Okay, that's a conversation we can have. Did they know? Yeah, I don't believe you can say that. I think that's conjecture. I think that that's all over Twitter and all over the internet. There is zero proof and zero evidence that Texas Tech, quote, knew about Sorsby. I'm more willing to believe that Cincinnati knew about Sorsby. Oh, that I fully agree. That Cincinnati knew. I think my opinion is, based on some conversations I've had, Cincinnati tried to help Sorsby. I think Sorsby left Cincinnati because he was humiliated and embarrassed. That's my opinion. Is that Sorsby didn't necessarily want to leave Cincinnati. But I think when you're running, and he is running, or, well, now he stopped running, but when you're at Cincinnati and you're Brendan Sorsby and you know what you've been doing, I think he was trying to escape. all of that noise. So am I willing to believe that Cincinnati knew Brendan Sorsby had a gambling problem? Yeah, I'm pretty willing to believe that. Do I believe that Texas Tech did their homework and due diligence on Brendan Sorsby before they backed up that Brinks truck to his bookie's apartment? No, I don't believe so. Because let's be honest, guys like Brendan Sorsby, who we've seen in triplicate now, the athlete who's into the gambling thing so deep that he gives away his football career. Yeah, we've seen that guy repeatedly, multiple times in the NBA now. Huge federal investigations, indictments, arrests in the NBA. Jonte Portering that ass. Yeah, we've seen this story many times. So did Brendan Sorsby give away his career? Yes. You know what the real problem here is? I don't believe Texas Tech knew. You know why? Because they did zero due diligence on Brendan Sorsby, in my opinion. Zero. They didn't do their homework. They saw Brendan Sorsby. They saw a guy who wouldn't want to leave Cincinnati to come to Texas Tech? What would we be looking for? You're looking for the dead bodies buried in the backyard.
What would be worse, if they did know or if they didn't know?
If they didn't know. If they did not, if you just paid Brendan Sorsby and did no digging, no due diligence, no. Do you understand that in the NFL, in Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NHL, your favorite cricket league, like any professional sport where I'm going to give you a bunch of money to come and perform at a high level so that we can win championships and make more money, I'm going to cavity search you. And Texas Tech didn't do that here. Because you can't tell me a guy who's a gambling addict to the point where he checked himself into a residential program. Maybe it wasn't his idea. Okay, we can debate that. Did Brendan Sorsby willingly? I don't know. But he did. Because that means you are a degenerate gambler. Because that work in those residential facilities is not easy work. They handed you, when you checked in, they handed you a sledgehammer and sent you to the rock quarry. Because that's what you do there. You go there and you do real hard work on the inside. And it's miserable. So now the issue is you paid Brendan Sorsby and he's never going to play a down for you. So it's worse that you didn't go and do the due diligence to find out he's a gambling degenerate. Because when you're a degenerate, the way that Brendan Sorsby is allegedly a degenerate, everybody knows. That's why I'm saying, do I believe Cincinnati knew? Yes. Do I believe Texas Tech knew? No, because I don't think they put the work in.
Yeah, I mean, that's just embarrassing if that's the case. I mean, that's why, like, I'm not even disagreeing with you, but that's why personally it's hard for me to believe they didn't. Like, it's literally difficult for me to believe, like, yeah, dude, like, you guys are on the inside, you're in the process, like, you guys, are, I mean, you can't tell me that it's not commonplace in college football to do homework on big time portal recruits. There's just, you can't tell me that the best of the best in college football aren't doing some type of cavity search, if you will. I mean, they just have to be. And that's what I find difficult. But I don't disagree. I mean, it would be shocking, if they, because I'm trying to think, okay, well, if you did know, why, like, so if they did know, then why then wouldn't you pay the $1 million to keep this quiet? Right? Like, if you knew that he had this problem, why cause the fight over the $1 million?
Arrogance.
But like, if you didn't know, then it makes more sense that you would cause the fight. And like, but again, I don't know, man. This is why I say, like, it's a Texas Tech, with all due respect, is a second tier operator still. You don't know how to run this thing the right way to avoid problems. And this is kind of the conversation we have in a lot of different areas on the show about, like, like no cop, no stop kind of situation. Like, if you're going to sign a guy who has issues, that inherently means you don't want those issues to come to light, and you'd like his entire existence to be focused around the weight room and the football field. You know what I mean? Like, you want it to just be very like straight and narrow, singularly focused. Like, don't get yourself worked up, off the field with this gambling stuff.
But there's also, is Will Hammond, or excuse me, is Brendan Sorsby a scumbag? No. Is Brendan Sorsby a bad person? No. I think there's a lot of Tech fans are out with their torches looking for a victim. Like, Brendan Sorsby, how old is Brendan Sorsby? I think he's 20. Yeah. Brendan Sorsby?
Yeah.
Is I think 20 or 21.
20. Yeah.
Right?
The Indiana stuff was happening when he was 18, so I'm pretty sure he's 20 now.
He's 21 years old, about to be 22.
Okay.
And you're telling me Brendan Sorsby, is he a victim? That's heavy. But he's not a scumbag or a bad guy. He fell into the dregs of society. And again, this is just my opinion. If you're somebody that is gambling on sports, you are asking for trouble. You are playing a very dangerous game, sir. And when you are 18, 19, 20 years old, and you are in deep with the sharks on your college campus, are you a scumbag? No. Are you an addict? He is. And I don't think that Brendan Sorsby, excuse me, I don't believe that Brendan Sorsby is a bad person. I have no reason to say that he's a bad guy or a bad actor. Or is he the smartest? Is he the brightest bulb? Is he the sharpest knife? No. Is he a bad guy, though? Come on. I think that's too far.
Yeah, just don't know enough about what else has gone on to say one way or the other. I mean, he's not. Yeah, I don't think we should say he's a bad guy just based off the fact that he's a gambling addict. I think that's rough. I think, I just think that it's, I don't know. I feel like this story is less about Sorsby and more about Cody Campbell and Tech. I think
that's a fact. That's a fact.
I just think that the Sorsby thing is a Sorsby thing. He's a gambling addict. He got started down the wrong path, clearly, is what it is. It happens to the best of us, But I think that we need to stop saying things like Cody Campbell is somehow great for college football. Or
he's the future of college football.
He's going to save college football or whatever. I mean, I just want to keep pointing out the fact, man, that we've been sounding the alarm on this $1 million Cincinnati buyout issue for weeks. And it's just funny to me that now all of a sudden you've graduated from you won't pay a buyout to your quarterback is a gambling degenerate, and you look like an idiot, because you do. You look silly. You look irresponsible. You look like you're the kid on the block who just got his inheritance, and you're just going to spend it on a bunch of stuff without understanding the implications. And that's just what it is, dude. And again, we haven't even spent a lot of time talking about the implications for the conference, because I'm going to keep saying it, dude. Like, everyone thinks it's a joke. Everyone thinks that it's so far-fetched that Yormark would consider other opportunities or is tired of dealing with BS out of Lubbock. Or, like, I'm telling you, dude, like, people's patience for bad operators and making dumb decisions time and time again is not endless. And I'm not saying it's imminent that he's leaving, but what I am saying is that there is a path here where the Big 12 could be in a lot of trouble as a conference, man. Like, if Texas Tech continues to go left when they should be going right, and if the Big 12 as a conference takes a smash cap deal and heads down that path, you're talking about a really dark time ahead for the Big 12. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. I'm not saying they will. It doesn't have to be that way. But I'm just telling you, I don't like what I'm seeing for the conference on the horizon, dude. I don't like what it looks like, 5 years from now, because I do think there's a massive question mark around new entities and a new league and just all that whole conversation, we're going to get to the tournament in a little while, the expansion of the tournament, which we told you was going to happen. But it's stuff like that for the Big 12 where you look at the conference and you say, dude, at some point, these schools and these presidents and ADs and boosters, you guys got to get in line. You need to start doing a better job. And if you're not going to do a better job, good things are not going to come your way. And it's not our job to feel sorry for you.
And he gave me permission to share this story. His name is, I'll call him Danny Dimes because that's what
Danny Dimes.
Is. Danny Dimes sends me a DM.
Danny.
I am 26 and I watch your show every single day. And although your golf swing sucks, I love the show. Thank you, Danny. That's very nice of you. I went to I'm not fighting with him over it.
Get a life, man. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
come on, man. Come on. I went to UCLA, and I can tell you as a 21-year-old, I was betting $5,000 a day.
How?
Let that sink in. $5,000 a day. It got to a point where I was sitting at UCLA basketball betting on the outcome of free throws and possessions. I was betting $100 a free throw in a college basketball game and losing. I maxed all of my credit cards, and I will never forget betting on USC to win a Pac-12 tournament game. They won, and I still lost. The next morning, there was a knock at my dorm room. It was my bookie. I tried to jump out the window and broke my femur. That's when I knew I had a problem. It took me snapping my femur, running away from my bookie, to figure out I was a gambling degenerate. It's not easy to get away from this stuff. It's easy to get involved. It's easy to get the hook set with your bookie. Trust me, I don't know any other addiction outside of pornography that is so easy to fall into the honeypot.
Pay that man his money.
Incredible. And he goes on to tell the story about how he went to a rehab in Oregon, Jake. He went to a live-in rehab, as he calls it, in Oregon for 6 months. The first thing I wanted to do was bet when I got out. I was thankful that my dad picked me up and drove me home and essentially sat next to me for the next 3 weeks while I continued therapy. I haven't bet since I broke my leg. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, look, I mean, we can have a conversation. I think that listen, dude, the access you have with a smartphone is dangerous. I mean, I'm just going to keep saying it. You know, I spend a lot of time right now, investing and learning, AI and understanding how to leverage it and use it. But the internet is full of dark places. And I think that gambling is one of those things that just, it's really difficult when you place your first bet, you lose money, and you're trying to recoup it.
Wait, dude, this is crazy. Danny also says, I no longer use smartphones. It's too tempting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember the old track phones?
Yes.
I have a phone just like that. It is, quote unquote, a dumb phone because I don't want the twinge of getting onto a gambling site. It's hard enough for me to watch the Lakers, who I love, which is, he put in parentheses, that's how I found your show. It's hard enough for me to watch the Lakers without wanting to bet on those free throws. And it brings me back to that moment, betting on free throws and betting on USC. It's like my mouth starts to salivate every time I watch somebody shoot a free throw. Jesus criminy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So And I'm grateful, man. To the point where you've busted my balls over it. I'm just not a gambling guy. It's not I'm very lucky. That's just not what I enjoy doing. It's not my thing. I don't enjoy, and maybe it's because I don't have $5,000 a day to burn on it, right? Haven't reached that point in life yet, but it is, I just can't stand to lose the money over whether somebody else makes a free throw or does something else.
Can you imagine losing $5,000 a day?
Dude, can you imagine what the things I would do if I had $5,000 of expendable income a day? I mean, that
Well,
you
he
could change your
maxed out
life
his
with
credit.
that.
He's paying his credit cards off.
Yeah, dude.
He
I mean,
maxed out his credit cards for it.
yeah. But my point is like if you have that kind of bandwidth, you can do a lot of damage. So I mean, I really that story is nasty stuff, dude. And that's great that you've been able to move on from it. And again, I also point out a lot of people wouldn't be able to take the as he put it, the dumb phone approach, right? Of getting away from a smartphone and getting to a flip phone or a phone that doesn't have internet access. It just is purely a call and text phone. I couldn't imagine not having an iPhone, but again, we're content creators. The iPhone is an integral part of my process every day. So it's just this thing where I'm telling you, we as human beings we're never built to have access to the internet and have access to those different things the internet provides you as easily as we do. Because what do you think it'd be? Like probably less than 3 minutes. I could go make a wager of some variety right now.
Yeah,
Like-
not even.
I mean, it isn't even hard.
You can go to Great American Ballpark right now and do it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is. Listen, that's why I say I don't think Brendan Sorsby is a scumbag. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know how you ever get away from it. Danny also clarifies he will pay off his credit card debt in October. And bro, that was 7 years ago. That was 7 years ago that I broke my leg, and I still have not bet since. I am still $22,000 in debt. I was well into the six figures. I don't even want to say how much it was. Thank you, SoFi, for helping me get out of it. But it will be a major accomplishment in my life when I pay that off. The reason I tell you all of this is twofold. Jake hates when you give him advice, and no, Brendan Sorsby is not a scumbag. And I say, I think it's as real as cocaine or porn. I think it's real on that level. Fascinating. I appreciate you, Danny. I appreciate you sharing your story. That's crazy. I'm so glad you survived. But I also say talk to your kids about this.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
If you have high school and college age kids, talk to your kids about it.
Yeah, they don't need to be seeing Teddy KGB. You know what I mean? They don't need to be. They don't need the bookie rolling up at the door.
Man, can you imagine? You there's a knock on your door. Teddy KGB is on the other side of the door. Your bookie's on the other side of the door.
Check.
So you jump out your dorm room window and snap your femur. That's the last time you ever bet. Oh my God. How do you know how painful it is to snap your femur?
No, and I hope I never find out.
Oh my God. All right, let's get your comments in here. In a sense, it's more real than cocaine because it's legal.
Agreed.
It is legal. Yeah, and he's still got $22K in debt left.
Yeah, but you know what the savage part about that is? The average American is like 20 to 30K in debt right now.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not even not to disagree with you, but I actually don't feel like 20 to 30K is wild because that's basically what your average American has right now. The 100K, okay, that's wild. That's a different level that I hope to never see in my life. But you can imagine how quickly it would go. I mean, I'd have to look up the analytics on, how many credit cards the average American has. I would go out on a limb and say it's probably somewhere between 3 to 5. But if you have like 3 to 5 cards, you can see how quick that would build, especially if you have good credit.
Danny is clerking for a state judge. I want to be a big time lawyer, and it's funny how much we have in common. Exactly right. And one of the things that I realized was that if I wanted to have anything in this life, I had to stop this gambling, because you guys are wrong. It's not legal to bet with a bookie, which is what I was doing, because I ran out of money to keep dumping into my gambling offshore apps. I ran out of money to keep dumping into my offshore gambling apps. So what do? Next? You go into debt with your bookie. Seems logical. Oh my God, bro. That's wild. That's what. So you bet you risked your entire life, because obviously if he'd have got caught up gambling, if he'd have gotten somehow on the wrong side of the law, he could have never been a lawyer. Can't get a bar card with a felony. Oh, can you imagine that?
Tough.
Yeah. See, and that's what makes this show great. And Danny, he told me some other stuff I'm not going to say on the show, but the very fact of the things that he did, Jake and I had a friend who used to sell her plasma to pay her rent.
Which, again, not uncommon right now.
He sold his plasma to pay his bookie. If you can, dude, come on. Prize Picks, Sorsby is in massive debt. Has to be in debt. But you're right, Jake. I mean, it is a common thing for millennials and Gen Zers to be in heavy credit card debt.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncommon. All this stuff is going to start affecting Campbell's business relationships. I don't think it will. Cody Campbell is a very good businessman. He's a good oil man. Based on what we know publicly, I don't know Cody Campbell, but it would appear that Cody Campbell's in the right business at the right time. Because if you're pulling oil out of the ground, my guess is you're not hurting. Yeah, I just paid $80 for half a tank of gas the other day. Trust me, oil men aren't hurting right now. So, saw a story yesterday that predicted online trading sites are tracked to profit $1 trillion this year. It's an epidemic.
Yeah. Well, no, the epidemic is people trying to figure out how to make more money in the day-to-day. That's the epidemic. And that manifests itself in a lot of different ways.
Ooh, Marcus. My 19-year-old had a massive gambling problem in high school that I only found out because I tracked his text messages on the AT&T app. Look at that. Are you serious? By the time he graduated high school, he had lost $60,000. $60,000.
Okay, I just sorry.
Betting. What do you think he was betting? You got to be. What do you think this cat was betting and losing $60,000 on?
I have no idea.
At 19 years old, by the time he graduated high school, horse racing.
Yeah,
you're
okay.
in 8 years. So
how
that
does
means
he
you're
have that
probably
much money,
17,
dog?
18, and 19. Oh my God.
Marcus, can I get some clarity on how bro had that much money? Like, I didn't have 60 bands at 18 years old, dude.
Good Lord. Let's see. He in this. Oh, okay. So you might. How did I find out he was so far in debt? During the summers, he runs a car detailing business. I bought him a pressure washer. He put it in the back of his beater pickup truck and started detailing cars with a buddy of his.
Oh.
And he'll send me another message and I'll finish that story. But think about that. You're 17, 18 years old betting on horses?
Oh,
that's incredible. I started getting suspicious. He asked me for a loan for his business. He was out from sun up to sundown detailing cars, but you need a loan. What's going on here? He said, nothing, just trying to expand my business. Wanted to buy more equipment. So I told him, hey, I'll buy you the equipment. Just send me a link, which he would not do. That's when I started digging and found the debt. It wasn't $60,000 all at once. He had lost it about $3,000 to $4,000. Then in the summer of his senior year, his business tanked because every day he was at the track in one form or another across Southern California, betting on horses with two of his friends. Wow. They made, in their sophomore summer, they made $40,000 detailing cars together.
I'm telling you, hold on.
$40,000?
So this is what I've been telling you. How long have I been telling you? I've been telling you this for years, dude, and I wish I would have done it. I'm telling you that you can start it's work. I'm not saying it's easy. You can start a pressure washing business, a car detailing business of some variety, and make absolute paper, dude. You can make $1,000. Think of it this way: $1,000 a day over, call it 25 days, because you're probably working Saturdays and that kind of line of work. You know, people are home. You know, they have availability. Saturday is going to be a day that you work. So Monday through Saturday, $1,000 a day, dude. You're probably netting to 20 grand a month at that point. I mean, that's what, like, you're doing 3 cars a day, you know, $300 a car. Like like that's money, dude.
They had made enough money that they were at the point where they were going to get a truck with a water tank on the back of it and a built-in pressure washer to do the cars. They never got that truck because one day there was a party with a friend of theirs. They went to the track and they were instantly hooked because they won 3 straight races. Did they know anything about horse racing? Of course not. They bet on the name of the horse and they happened to win 3 straight, and it was straight downhill from there. While my son never went to rehab, he also does not keep a smartphone because he was also addicted to daily fantasy in baseball. Oh, man.
See, so that's why I say, like, I have to say this out of respect for myself. Like, when you know, as a parent, when you get concerned about me, these are not issues that I've had to deal with. Not to say that I'm better or anything like that, but
no, your issues were always chicks, dude. You were
like, I just
Jake was a hound,
bro.
He was always out chasing it.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, the obsession right now is finding a way to get a business automated to make you money each day, right? And it's not, there's this whole thing, and you guys may have seen this. This is gonna be a quick little sidebar. Like, I'm sure that you guys have seen on Twitter and the internet and things like that about, like, you know, AI making you money in a variety of forms and fashion. There's a million different ways to do it. I'm telling you, that's the game right now, right? Understanding and using AI. I got in the cloud yesterday, and it's incredible. Like, it is miles better than ChatGPT. I don't even want to know, after our little fiasco with AI and the Pac-12 logo yesterday, I don't even want to know what Claude would do with the Pac-12 logo, because it's crazy. But the point is that I'm just glad that I was never, I think I kind of came up before the smartphone gambling like thing happened to younger people. And I just, to everyone in the comment, I see all you guys saying it, like, it is legal. It's legal. It's worse than drugs. It's worse than that because it's legal. Like, man, that's the hard part.
Crazy. That's crazy. I don't even know. Wait, what did he say? He's now running a successful shop. He's about to turn 21, and they're back to making that money, which is how he paid me back after I paid off his debt. He paid me back. They are one of the top PPF shops in Southern California.
Yeah. So
wow. So you really can make that kind of bread detailing cars.
Oh yes, dude.
Yeah.
You want to make 20, 25 a month? You can detail cars, dude. I'm telling you, and it's more pressure washing houses and properties, because you can
soft washing. Yeah.
You can get $500-600 a house. If you do the house, the driveway, like, you can get a little bit more top end in that line versus just, I mean, and obviously if you're detailing a big SUV, you could charge more, but But I'm telling you, it's how it should be done nowadays. Go into, if you have a teenager who's on the fence about college, don't push them to go to college. Push them into starting a business when they don't have leverage against them, when they have no overhead, no rent, no debt, they haven't had to deal with the IRS yet. Put them into a business line, manage the taxes for them, teach them how to do the taxes. They will be off and running. You will have no problems. I'm telling you, it's the way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the reasons we stopped promoting daily fantasy. It is, man, that's good. And I appreciate you guys sharing all these stories. That's wild. That is wild.
See, that right there, you make a good point without explicitly saying it. That's the problem with gambling. It is in the background. It hides in the background on people's phone. So like, it's like, cause it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Let me get on my phone. Let me get on FanDuel or whatever it is. Let me get on the offshore and just 5 minutes. Let me make this position. Then I'll be on my way. Like, it's just, I just hate that for people.
Look at Chewy. This is exactly why I stopped playing fantasy football, because it took away my enjoyment of watching football. I don't ever want to be in a position where I have to root for anybody but the Bears unless they move to Indiana. I don't ever want to be in a position. It just took the fun out of the game for me. Right. And that was part of the daily fantasy thing. I just think it changes the way you watch sports. Right. And we went from roto cool, let's play fantasy baseball to this behemoth of an empire that I think just, it changes the way we all watch sports. And every time we get a story like Jonte Porter or now Brendan Sorsby, dude, like you quickly realize that there is no putting your toe in the water. And that's terrifying. It's terrifying. Yeah. And that's really tough. A very addictive personality. So I know when it starts to take over, dude, that's crazy. Sorsby's bet at Indiana wasn't legal. I don't know if it was or not. I have no way to know that. Vegas Kane, Monty, call a shop and ask how much to do your BMW. Well, see, when pimp's gonna pimp, it comes fully PPF'd. So, a lot of sports podcasts are sponsored by betting sites. Yes, they are.
Because it's easy content to make.
Actually, the most addictive thing I see is sugar. I've dealt with several people who have lost toes and feet because of diabetes. It's a completely different thing, man. That's a completely different thing. Ceramic coat or PPF a sports car, 5K minimum. Yeah. I help some of the other local Porsche Club members on detailing. I hate to see people get ripped off. It's expensive. My BMW needs to be detailed. And dude, to come to my condo in Seattle, I got quotes that were like $600.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not paying you $600. Right? I'm not. If it was $200, sure. But the quotes are so wide and varying. Yeah, I know there's good money in it. I just didn't understand that the top end. Because it's repeat customers, right?
Well, it's that's repeat what you customers, need. and you can change your pricing depending on the client. So someone like you with that kind of car, I'm not charging you $200. I'm charging you $600.
Yeah.
Why would I charge you $200?
Yeah. I had a soft launch of my catering business a few weeks ago.
Nice, bro.
Way to go, dude. Claude can't do images. Yeah, Claude's kind of flawed. The reason so many people use ChatGPT, and take it from me, I use AI every day pretty much for everything that I do. When you have a professional account with ChatGPT, the world's your oyster. Gemini's pretty good too. I use Gemini in some things, but ChatGPT is by far the most pliable AI software I've found. My wife is an AI expert. So if I really need something AI, if I really need something done like that, I generally will turn to her. She uses AI professionally. So for a rather large tech company, if you will. So I rely on her to lend her expertise. Because I don't listen. I think you guys know I am very self-effacing. I am very happy to tell you what I don't know. I am not somebody who believes that you should be, oh, I'm an AI expert if you're not an AI expert. Because I just think you're getting yourself into such deep water if you're unwilling or unable to tell yourself what you don't know, right? So I don't know, Jake, you're incredibly addicted to Claude. Like I know that's your thing, but
yeah, I think it's more of a workflow conversation. It's not that Claude, the point of Claude is not to Jeremiah is not wrong. Obviously, Claude image generation with Claude isn't its main directive or purpose. The Claude's main directive and purpose is to be the first step in a workflow in whatever you're trying to do. So the whole point of it is that, and again, it as you were just saying with ChatGPT, it does depend on what level you're operating with it at, because they
Yes.
have a lot of different ways you can use it. But in what I'm looking at using it for and how I use it, I use it for efficiency purposes, workflows, trying to figure out how to leverage more YouTube channels and things like that to build more income and revenue and things like that. And I think that's where you really start to see the value in it. I like it a lot. I like ChatGPT a lot. Obviously, ChatGPT is outstanding. I mean, they're both really good. I had just gotten into it yesterday, and I felt like it was just a little bit more responsive and intuitive than I had experienced with chat. But it's kind of 6 to 1. It's kind of semantics, really.
it probably is. It probably is. It is. This working for yourself thing, you guys, I think is a huge, it's a huge thing. I think we really that's the conversation you need to be having with yourself. Like my side hustle right now is e-commerce, and I'm going through it on some inspection stuff with a factory in China. And, I'm trying to get these inspections done. And my opinion on that is you need passive income. If you're 20 years old, and Marcus makes a great point, a 20-year-old can do a car detailing business. If you're 35 or 40, that's not the stream that you want to find. You need to find e-commerce is probably what it is. E-commerce and leveraging AI for small business. That's the thing. I think that's the next boom. I think, do you guys remember when the internet came out, and Jake, you probably don't know anything about this based on your age as a millennial, but when the internet came out and before websites were a thing, do you guys remember all of the consultants who would come in and build you a website and teach you how to use it? Well, that's exactly what AI is right now. And there's going to be a boom, and it's already happening, of consultants who will come into your small business and teach your plumbing business how to use AI to maximize and leverage. That's the next big thing. And I wish I had some ability to do that. Because if I had a way to build a consultancy on how to teach small business owners how to use AI, it would be, you would be printing money. Because you're charging. I was watching Mark Cuban the other day talk about how you're charging people $5,000 a month to be an AI consultant. And it takes you 20 minutes, 20-minute consultations. And depending on if you have sales acumen, it's a 20-minute consultation. Yep. They sign an agreement with you. You're probably getting a 6-month agreement at $5,000 a month. That's $30,000. If you get 10 of those clients, that's $300,000 a quarter.
Yeah, bro.
To be an AI consultant. And the best part is, and this is why I'm so into ChatGPT. ChatGPT will teach you how to use AI for your business. So if you're an AI consultant, and again, I'll use plumber, and you're consulting the plumbing industry on how to build AI into their workflow, you can ask ChatGPT, hey, how can a plumber use ChatGPT to enhance their business? And it'll give you a complete list of what the action items are. But so many small business owners don't know that. That's my point. That's the kind of business. That's the business. If I could go start any business, that's the business I would go start. Because
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great.
It's built.
I mean, when you're talking about things that I know how to do and don't know how to do, I know how to do YouTube. Obviously, we do YouTube, and that's how I'm trying to leverage it. But I think the thing that you have to understand too is like you have to have money to be able to start these businesses too, and that's kind of the barrier of entry. And so when you don't have 5K or 10K sitting around, you have to create that. And so what better way to create that than to use AI to leverage a thing that you know how to do already? And that's my message to people is like, if you're in debt, great, learn AI. Get out, like, don't talk to me about wanting to learn AI, learn it. Like, use it, understand it, use it daily, like experiment with it, get on YouTube. And that is exactly what I'm telling you guys is possible, because the thing that I feel like nobody talks about is it's probably with YouTube, like what I see is it's probably 6 months. If you launch a YouTube channel today, you understand how to use the AI to build one, you're probably 6 months out. But if you're consistent and you're disciplined and you know what you're doing, it's gonna build. And then from there, once you've got that built, then you can go and build your consultancy. Then you can get your Amazon business off the ground. Then you can go hire an 18-year-old kid, fund their entire detailing business, take a percentage of the profit, and send them on their way. Like you have to have that revenue flow though. And that's what I feel like a lot of us are skipping over or not realizing that we can create literally today. Like you can start that today.
Yeah, totally agree. I have no issue saying that I use AI as a therapist sometimes. LOL. Hey man, it is what it is. Yeah. And I think if you're in business, you should be using AI.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to do that. The stadium guy, James Cryptic, I wouldn't use AI as a therapist. Well, okay. Body language is 58% of communication, and AI tools can't read your body language. James?
Bro,
therapy involves nonverbal communication. I don't know how you manage to put yourself in quicksand every single day. Oh, and here's a $5 comment. My next intensive class is on ministry and AI. I've had to read books on AI ethics. Thankfully, they are striving to do some in an ethical manner. Some stuff in an ethical manner. You're lost, James. You're lost. James, I think you are highly underestimating my ability to communicate with all things. I'm very much aware of that, but I appreciate your concern.
Yeah, bro never said that he was replacing himself with ChatGPT as the therapist in session, dude. That's not what he said. Like, that's not what he was saying, dude.
Vegas Kane, I'd love to invest in AI girlfriend apps. I see so many ads for it on my video games. They must be raking it in. Yeah. I use AI for my finance job, and it saves me hours of analysis and data reporting. It allows me to be more productive, but you have to double check to the work because it makes mistakes.
Yes.
Trust but verify. Yes. My son uses Claude. It's able to do math stuff that looks Greek to me. It's a huge problem in education.
Yep.
Because kids don't actually have to do the work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There was a story 2 weeks ago about a thesis that was written by one of the AI engines.
Mm-hmm.
And they submitted the thesis and it was not caught. Because apparently now all these papers and theses and all this stuff is run through a filter to determine if it's AI or not. Didn't get screened. That's crazy to me.
So like, I agree that's obviously unethical, right? To use AI to do your writing for you or to like pass your schooling. I agree that's unethical. At the same time, I also agree that, bro, AI is a tool meant to facilitate your business success. So I completely disagree with the sentiment that, oh, well, because you're in school, you can't use AI or you can't Like we're discouraging use of AI, but then when they become lawyers or doctors or, they're going to be using AI daily in their business. That's what, and again, it's different day, different show, but that's always been my issue with the schooling, right? Like we're not trying to teach people how to run their taxes or use AI or do any of that crap. Like we just want them to know that Christopher Columbus sailed across the sea in 3 wooden, ships, and that's what happened. Like,
yeah. Ken Maynard, Texas Tech is now middle of the poll, top 25 team. I think Will Hammond is flying under the radar because I'm a big believer in Will Hammond. If you're just tuning in, let's reset. The show this morning, as always, we are presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Reach them 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Jake, how would you surmise if I said put a bow around Brendan Sorsby's situation? How would you describe it to somebody?
Yeah, I mean, I would describe it as Brendan Sorsby is a kid who got himself into some trouble in the gambling space. It was, I personally believe, based on what we've seen in the reporting, that it was known to Indiana and Cincinnati at a certain point. There was kind of a open-ended secret about him, I feel like, based on what everyone said. Right. And it got to a point when he was at Cincinnati to where he wanted to leave and wanted to run and needed to move along. And he had happened to have a good season. So Texas Tech needs a quarterback, needs one more quarterback at a minimum. And they saw an opportunity with Sorsby after Leavitt was no longer available to them because he went to LSU. So they went and got him. They didn't do their homework, allegedly. And now they're paying the price for that because it's all come out that he's got gambling issues and, one thing led to another. And how I would surmise it is that gambling is a big problem in college athletics. You had a story come out yesterday talking about that big case that involved all those bookies and all the basketball players and everything. That kind of ran its course yesterday, talking about how bookies position themselves as NIL reps to get these guys to get involved in gambling. So you have a situation where it's not just that it's available to you on your phone, it's also available to you in the real world, and people are acting in an unethical manner. So I don't think Sorsby's a bad guy, but I think that the cynical side of me says that Tech just doesn't operate in a real ethical way right now behind the scenes with their money and getting players. I think that the stance they've taken has built a reputation for themselves where they're known as someone who will throw a bunch of money at you, and if you win, it's all good. But we haven't seen what happens when you don't win. We haven't seen what happens when the success isn't there. So I just think there's still a lot left on the table, but it's a bad look for Tech in the Big 12. There's no question.
The update today, sources close to the Big 10 or Big 12 are telling us, man, if I could speak English, this show would be so much better. Sources close to the Big 12 are telling us that the Big 12 will not allow Brendan Sorsby to play. They will not clear him for competition unless substantial new evidence emerges that clears him of gambling on college football, which, if you believe the reports at Indiana, that's going to be awfully difficult to do. And it would seem like somebody that bet on football at Indiana, allegedly, and then was at Great American Ballpark betting on pitch by pitch during Reds games, it would seem to me that it is likely he continued betting on college football, in my opinion. But here, I guess, is where we'll leave this Sorsby story. Here's what I would ask you. Do you believe that Brendan Sorsby should ever play college football again? And as much as I think gambling is an addiction, and as much as I think Brendan Sorsby is a gambling addict, Brendan Sorsby is an adult who made adult decisions, and those decisions have consequences. You knew you were not allowed to bet on college football, and you did it anyway. I am thrilled to help you get over this gambling addiction and hopefully live a normal, well-adjusted life. But you can never play college football again. And unfortunately, that likely means you're not going to play in the NFL. Because if he sits out this entire year, I think it's going to be awfully difficult for an NFL franchise to do anything other than maybe Pavia that ass and give him a shot at minicamp. I said Pavia. Anyway, the point is, I think Brendan Sorsby made a really bad decision, and it will cost him the rest of his college career. Yeah. And I think rightfully so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that just because he made bad decisions and is somewhat of a victim to a pretty predatory industry doesn't mean that he's immune to the consequences of those decisions. And again, this is what I've been saying a lot lately. It's like, dude, people go through things. Like that doesn't mean that anyone feels sorry for you or anyone feels sorry for me or whoever. That's just not how the world works. And so I just think that you have a situation where again, there's not going to be a solution to this because college football is too much of a cesspool. There's too many cooks in the kitchen and you can't solve anything. So we're going to sit here and it's going to be the great facilitator of business because that's what moving money for billionaires, that's the kind of environment they need to play in, an unregulated space that allows them to do and transact in the way they want to, not the way the law says they should. And that to me is what college football is right now. Yep.
Like, how do you say stuff like this?
You must be trolling. You have
AI
to be.
Girlfriends can't cook. You have to find a woman who likes to cook.
Right, but how would you know that? Your woman never cooks for you. You eat at Buc-ee's every day.
I want so much for you, James. And then you'll roll in here with a take of, hey, man, you want to live a happy life? Find a broad who can cook.
Yeah, even though I don't think my wife is hot, that doesn't mean you can't find one that you think is hot.
Hey, sweetheart, if you keep going at this pace, you're going to get a new set of hexagon pans for Christmas.
Yeah.
Keep knocking out this pasta like that.
Yeah, hex-clad.
What is wrong with you? Find a woman who can cook.
Jackass.
Hey, sweetheart. Hey, you burned that steak again. I won't be buying you that dustpan for Mother's Day, I promised you. You can go out and get your own trash bags. Like, do you understand how that sounds?
Dude.
Fine, man. Gotta find one of them hoes who can cook.
Dude, come on, bro.
Whatever.
What? Hey, you know what I got to? Listen, you're a great mom. I wanted to get you something special, okay? Here's one of those battery-operated scrubbers for the bathtub because I don't want you hurting your back. You got to be able to stand in the kitchen.
By the way, if you're going to be in the kitchen, you better have a TCU jersey on.
I sometimes, AI James has entered the chat. But Monty just nailed it. Will Hammond will probably be the starting quarterback at Tech. Give him a year and he will do well in his sophomore year. Okay. Oh, I have to go. I hope everyone has a great day.
Oh, you got a chart today, huh?
No, he doesn't have to chart today. He's got to get his woman in the kitchen. She's being unruly. Alex, I think Brendan Sorsby is ruled out for the season. Then Will Hammond will be the starting quarterback for Tech. Wow, you're really out on a limb.
Wow. I mean, how did we? Wow. Man, maybe I should have got on ChatGPT or Claude and looked up, what those two bots thought would be the starter. I mean, Alex, this is just world-beating material right here, dude.
Hey, Claude, do women belong in the kitchen?
I've been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich.
I can't believe James said that. Find a woman who can cook.
Yeah.
Hammond will be the QB. Tech's talent should be able to get them through the first few games to get him ready. I would agree with that. Mr. Green, true but not true. I work with SQL and Java. You're talking about coding? AI could be writing the code, but you have to double check it. Yes. People think that coders have been eliminated. Coders have not been eliminated.
No.
Their job is significantly more efficient. Coders have not been eliminated. You are, Again, AI is a tool. It's not
supplemental.
a worker.
It's supplemental.
It's supplemental. It does not replace the worker. Yeah, totally agree. No, Sorsby committed to Tech and LSU settled for Levitt shortly after. Effing Lane Kiffin wins again. Yes, he does. Maybe LSU did their homework on Brendan Sorsby. Could have been. I use AI constantly. That said, still haven't found anyone with a good answer on what happens when unemployment hits 20 to 30% because AI kills those jobs and doesn't make up enough new ones. I don't know that we will get there. We'll see. I don't know that we will get there.
Get to a place where you don't need a job. That's what I would say. Start now.
And yeah, that's a different show. I agree. Breadless Sorsby is probably done playing college football. Breadless Sorsby. The natural, not college. Go prepare for the NFL now. Get better. Yeah, seriously. Focus on your mental health. Seriously. Sorsby should be held accountable, and so should Cincinnati if they knew. What does this have to do with Cincinnati? And listen, I love the passion of Texas Tech fan, but you're going Joe Biden on me here. It's all day yesterday in the comments section. Well, Monty, you said
No Monties.
Yeah, no Monties. Well, look here, Monty. You said Texas Tech should have known, and if they didn't know, they should have known. What about Cincinnati? Okay, well, that's a different conversation. My point has simply been, did Texas Tech do their due diligence on Brendan Sorsby before they handed him the keys to the Brinks truck? And the answer is very clearly, I would think no.
No.
Because you're not paying a guy that's a gambling addict millions of dollars to be your quarterback. I'm sorry. When has that ever worked out? It's never worked out. If you'd have known he was a gambling addict, and you should have, you wouldn't have paid him. But you didn't. So is that Cincinnati's fault? No. Did Cincinnati have some obligation to tell you who's taking their starting quarterback that he's a gambling addict?
Oh, what a loser.
Not by the letter of the law, they didn't. Tiny Tim Will Hammond has to recover faster. Maybe you should get Shohei to pitch and hit in the same game.
Oh, speaking of Shohei, does Brendan Sorsby have an interpreter he can blame? Or not?
Hey, look, it's Ipe.
Yeah, can Ipe sit up there at the dais with Brendan Sorsby, and they can kind of work it out?
Did we not keep the picture? Damn.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
there it is.
There it is, right here. Yeah, look at this, right? I mean, come on, dude. Ipe's back, dude. Ipe's back.
Who
did this? AI did this.
Do you want to set up the meeting?
Yeah, right? I mean, come on, dude. Like, blame the interpreter. He'll be the fall guy.
So good. Bryce Martin. Hello, Bryce. Good to see you, bud. I think it doesn't matter what I think. The rules are plain and clear, and he can't play college football ever again.
Yeah, but come on, Bryce. You must be pissed at Cody Campbell. You must be disappointed. I mean, come on.
On some level. I worry about Will Hammond's knee because before all this, the reports were Hammond wouldn't be ready till week 3.
Mm-hmm.
Funny how Jesus Christ got him ready. Nope, not going to do the prayer thing today.
Joel Osteen is in the building.
Enjoy your chart session, James. Exactly. Rock and rant. Rock, can we talk about this nonsense with Michael Yormark is allegedly going to be the next athletic director at Miami. Allegedly. I don't need all the jackwagons making YouTube content saying, oh, man, Miami's coming to the Big 12, bro. It's over. Realignment's coming.
Big 12 expansion, breaking news.
No, they're not. Let me.
Pack everything up. We're out of here.
Hey, Lil clickbait buddy at Locked On. Let me ask you just a real peripheral surface level question. You might want to plug this in AI. Does it make sense for somebody to leave a leverage situation in the ACC for the Big 12, where they have no brand, they have very little access and very little leverage over the college football playoff? See Cody Campbell.
Oh.
When their brand would be in demand with the SEC. So you're going to pass on the SEC because Michael Yormark's your athletic director, who happens to be the twin brother of Brett Yormark, and you think just because Brett Yormark's the commissioner of the Big 12, Michael Yormark's going to make one of the worst fucking business decisions ever? And take Miami from the ACC to the Big 12. Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. Yeah, locked on my... Shut up. No, it does not make sense. No, it does not make sense.
Hey, when is that $600 million check going to Washington State and Oregon State? I'm just still waiting. Still waiting.
They're not leaving the ACC to go to the Big 12, bud. That's not happening.
No.
The stupidity of people.
No.
Oh, wow, listen, makes total sense here, Monty. No, it doesn't. Because you're stupid. That's why it makes total sense to you.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
It doesn't make any sense.
I personally believe that U.S. Americans will transfer to the Big 12.
Iraq.
Perfect sense. Especially now that they have that cool new AI logo.
Oh, I mean, look. Now that they rolled this thing out right here, I mean, come on, dude. How are they not just jumping for joy into the Pac-12, right? I mean, it's the Atlantic for the Pacific. What's the big deal?
Well, let me say the athletic director's brother is the MEAC conference commissioner. We're taking the Canes to the MEAC. Brother. I don't care. I'll die on this hill. Miami's the best brand in the ACC. It's a better football brand right now than Florida State. When are they firing their coach? Yeah. When are they firing their coach? They just played for a national championship. Dead body Carson Beck got drafted into the NFL.
Dead body Carson Beck.
Dude, now Carson Beck is still hotter than Taylor Swift, but their body types are very similar. And I'm just telling you now, Miami's the brand in the ACC.
But Monty, Virginia, come on.
Shut
Tech
up.
with the great Penn Stater. Come on.
Focus on your Cubbies, Monty. We'll see come late August who's playing postseason and who's in Cancun. We actually want to. How about angry Phil Venzer? Last night, going to the ballpark in San Diego, taunting me. Oh, you're going to lose. We're going to beat wholesale ass. How'd that work out?
What do you, hold on.
I'm sorry. Hey, Phil.
What do you mean?
Hey, somebody do a wellness check. Phil Venzer, please. Is he dead? Because Pete Crow Armstrong went deep and we won the game.
Yosemites.
Jackwagon.
What does Phil mean? We are going to beat wholesale ass. You're a Vegas guy, not a San Diego guy.
Yeah, you don't even have a baseball team.
Yeah, take your ass back to Sacramento, dude, in that little rent-a-park for the River Cats.
Jackhole. You're so right. It's insane that people think his brother means Miami to the Big 12. I never hear SEC, though. It's always Big 10. If I was Sorsby, I'd bet on the Big 10. Okay.
It vexes me.
I would bet on the SEC.
Is that the new shtick on the show? Hey, if I was Sorsby, I would be betting on Oak State James to hit up Buc-ee's at least 3 times this week.
But the question is, Monty, brisket or katsu? Dude, the honey chicken is back at Chipotle. I'm here for it. I'm going to hop on a lime scooter and try not to die today, and I'm going to go get me some honey lime chicken, dude. I think it's honey chipotle chicken. Yes. Nothing like the healing found for Will Hammond from a late night visit to James's rectory. That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
Ken Maynor for $5. All Big 12 trolls do is talk a big game and daydream about conference realignment instead of actually doing anything on the field. Win something. Oof.
Agreed.
You're not wrong. I like your Pac-12 aquarium logo.
Yeah, so did what, 12,000 people last night? So, people are with it.
How did ChatGPT beat a professional design firm for the Pac-12 logo?
Timothy.
Here's what the Pac-12 paid millions of dollars to have.
Literally millions of dollars.
ChatGPT did this in 30 seconds.
Oh.
Just.
Huh.
And this is way better.
Yeah.
This or this.
Ass or good?
This or this. I'm probably this. This or this.
Certainly aquarium life.
Chat. Are you telling me ChatGPT went belt to ass on a design firm hired by the Pac-12?
Stay hard.
Yes.
I believe that's exactly what happened.
Yes, they did.
That's exactly what happened. Raymond Harton.
Raymond Harton.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That could be Raymond Harton.
Who the fuck are you?
And if
Cowboy
that's you,
fan.
you do you. Oh, is he a Cowboy fan?
Yeah, look at
that's
his,
what
his
Joey.
picture.
That's what Joey M gets for running off at the mouth about his pitiful conference and affiliation. Go Irish. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Wait. So you're criticizing. So wait, you're an Irish fan now, criticizing someone else for going off at the mouth. What, did you forget about what your boy said after the season last year? Come on, bro. We didn't forget.
We did not forget. Never forget. The natural, Ali De La Cruz, first player since 1900 with 10 homers and 8 stolen bases before May. Red Legs time.
Yeah, he's been swinging it, dude.
How's Pete Rose these days? Oh, he's dead. That's right.
Why don't you ask Brendan Sorsby?
Chewy Gonzalez waiting for Jake to play the fart sound when Monty says Chipotle. Rock and rant. For the record. This is going to be good. When Rock and Rant starts with for the record, Sorsby thinks James' favorite year for his wife to live in would be 1955 plus or minus 1 year. Hey, look, honey. Hey, get in the kitchen. Make me a sandwich. Cool story, bro. Put some tomatoes on that sandwich.
It is what it is.
I can't believe James said that. Find you a woman who can cook.
AI can't cook for you. You need to find a real woman. Like, what?
This show never disappoints. Never, ever. Did you show Monty y'all as the Blues Brothers?
No, I did not, dude. I didn't get to that yesterday. Jeremiah Champion did another AI graphic of us as Blues Brothers yesterday in the good old members only.
Okay. Did we like it?
Yeah, it was solid. I gotta find it now. There it is. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Let me go here. Yeah, give me like 2 minutes. I'll get it in here. Hold on.
Okay. God, I don't even want to know what this is. The Blues Brothers. Everybody's been sending me pictures of James. Like Steely's been sending me pictures of me in the background of James's new logo.
Mm-hmm.
We have a weird obsession with James on this show. It was not just Blues Brothers, LMFAO. Okay. FTR, Monty. I love the Quicksand James name. Dude, he steps in it every day. Is Brendan Sorsby the college football equivalent of Jamarcus Russell? Dude, he may be the biggest bust in the history of NIL. Okay, wait, what now? You sent me what? Marcus says, what? And it's actually not bad. Okay.
What did he
Marcus
send you?
Marcus Marcus says his son was very appreciative of us talking about his story.
Uh-huh.
So he made us a new logo. And he used Claude to do it.
Okay, while you get that, here's the Blues Brothers that Jeremiah made yesterday. This is the Blues Brothers of us, apparently.
I look so old. People love your beard, by the way. There's been a lot of people commenting about your beard. So
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Yeah.
Okay. Do we like that more? I can't upload it because we have
Screenshot it. Screenshot. Oh, because we have too many things. Yeah.
Hold on. Hang on. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's the next update that our streaming software needs to make. We need to be able to have like 200 files in here at a time. Like 100's not quite getting it done, bro.
Okay, let's see. Marcus's son appreciated our efforts.
Hey, Morty.
So he made us a new logo on Claude.
Okay. Oh, I actually don't hate that at all.
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, that's nice, bro.
Real talk, big energy.
Yeah, dude. I like that a lot, bro.
I don't hate that.
Okay, I'm down. We can have a little competition here. You guys want the show artwork on the channel? I mean, could definitely use a refresh.
It.
Yeah, we could definitely refresh it. I have no problem with that. And I would definitely be down for some submissions if you guys want to.
What would ChatGPT
your ass into my comment section with a new logo, and you can definitely do that. I like this a lot. This is modernized for sure. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's slick, dude.
I don't hate that.
Open to different color schemes as well. Traditionally, we've been white and red, as you can see here, but open to different color schemes. Probably not gonna get far with bright ass colors, but a clean blue logo would be nice. Red's nice. Figure it out.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Okay. Let's see what people are saying here.
I appreciate that. Wow.
Yeah, people like this, dude. People like this a lot.
People like this logo?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That does slap. Yes, it does. We need James' face in the new logo.
Not a chance, dude.
We do not.
A chance. That's not happening ever.
The James Show Ministry with Monty and Jake. Exactly right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It slapped too. That's pretty legit. Awesome branding. That's very good. I made you all a new intro. You did. Claude can't fix your golf swing, Monty. I don't disagree.
I gotta say, I actually like that logo a lot, dude. I think that might be hard to beat.
Look at this one. Yeah. I plugged Marcus's the one that Jae is his son's name.
Okay.
I plugged the one that Jay made into ChatGPT and said, add our tagline, the truth in sports talk.
Yeah.
Look at this one. Not bad.
Not bad at all, dude. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
And I like that it's encouraging us to talk more baseball and hockey because that's always good for the program.
Yes, it is. I don't know what the hell happened to that basketball, but
that basketball got AI'd to hell.
I don't hate that logo at all.
No, I would be down. We can listen, I'll give you guys, listen, here's what we'll do. I'll give you guys today to DM me or Monty with your ChatGPT / AI, whatever you want to use, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever it is, with your inspiration for a new logo. And if I get enough of them, we can decide tomorrow. But I think this is tough to beat, dude. Put the first one back on the screen. Let's compare these two with the tagline versus not tagline.
Oh, you got to have the tagline. You don't think you need the tagline?
Can you get, so put the updated one back up, the tagline one. What does it look like without the basketball and the football and all that? Just the tagline in there.
Okay. Let me ask.
I think it would be cleaner without those.
Remove the sports balls. Let's see.
Let's see what it does.
Let's see what it does.
Hey, Pac-12, take notes, by the way.
Exactly. I like it. No soccer ball, though. Ball didn't go through the AI. That's exactly right.
So see what he did there? That's a reference to a drop.
Ball didn't go in the hoop.
That's a nice job, Chewy. Nice job.
That's very well done. I like it without the balls. I've heard that about you.
Yeah, that's kind of your deal, huh?
I've heard that about you. The basketball looks like a rugby ball. It kind of, I don't disagree with that.
I think if we could get the basketball, football, baseball puck out of there and just have the tagline in there and make it one clean circle, I think that would be pretty hard to beat.
Okay. It did it. It did it. It did. But we agree the tagline, do we buy that the tagline has to be there?
Yeah, I think the tagline has to be there. Yeah, it's just about the thing I don't like about this one with the balls is that the outline, or as the Pac-12 calls it, the shield, has this notch in the bottom now to accommodate that. And I just think it needs to be one clean circle around it.
Okay. I actually like the little nuances. The thing you miss here is, do you guys see the YouTube logo?
Yes, it's this one is just
very
so
subtle,
simple, clean, subtle YouTube logo. Like, it's beautiful.
There's that one. Wait, what happened to?
Where's the other one?
Whoa, did I upload the wrong one? Hold on. Dadgummit. Yeah, here it is. Okay, my bad. I clicked on the wrong graph. All right, so this is the one that Jay did.
Yeah, Marcus.
This is the one that ChatGPT updated it to.
Yeah,
and this is the one without the balls.
Yeah, see, that's beautiful, dude. Do you think the YouTube logo needs to be above the tagline, or you like where it's at?
No, I like right where it's at.
You like where it's at. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's clean, dude. That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay. Yeah. I mean, we can use that. I'm happy to use that.
Can you ask one last thing before we move on?
Here we go.
Just ask ChatGPT to take this logo and put it into the format for a YouTube banner image, I think it's called. Let me see what the exact. Hold on. What's the exact term? Yeah, YouTube banner image. Take this logo and format it to a YouTube banner image.
That's exactly what I just did. I said, take this logo and put it into a YouTube banner image.
Let's see what it looks like as a YouTube banner. Because this is perfect. I would use this. I would update this right now. That's beautiful. I love that.
It says it's sketching it out.
Okay, great. All right.
So, yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's clean.
I like it a lot.
High energy. Looks nice.
The last one, Cryptic says the last one. I just sent you the real winner over on Twitter.
Oh, dear. Oh, my.
Let's
you
see.
already know what it is, dude. You already know.
Oh, no, you did not, Rock. Why are you being, why do you take the O out of count? That's funny. You guys will laugh at this. See, I give you credit for being smart. Okay, hang on. I'm going through it a little bit here. Let's go desktop over here. Okay, here it is. Are you guys ready for the big reveal?
Yeah, dude. Wow.
There it is. There it is. The new Monty show. This or no, Rock.
Dude,
that's
Marcus,
amazing.
Dude, your kid deserves credit, bro. This is really good work out of your kid, bro.
Okay.
Give bro credit.
Okay, we will. Okay, I'm gonna say we can't use it because it says new. There's one mistake on this graphic, the banner graphic.
Okay, let's just give us an example of what it did. And obviously, it's got mistakes.
Let's see if I can. Hold on. Will it show it? It does show it. Let's see. Can I use that? Here's what ChatGPT came up with for the banner.
Oh, I like it a lot, dude.
Real talk, bold opinions, no filter, new videos weekly.
That's got to say daily, but
yes,
fine. Yeah.
Yes.
Ask it to change that. Tell it to change that. It'll change that.
Okay. I don't know why we're doing this live on the show right now.
Because it's fun. People like this, dude. Look at this. The natural's like smooth. Orange Man James is like, last one is dope. The Bryce is like, that's badass. I'm telling you, people are into this, dude. This is what I like about the show, is that your guys' input often drives what happens on the channel. Like this type of branding right here is exactly what we've needed to do for a little while. But I love the fact that it was basically spawned out of gambling degeneracy and Marcus's kid being so invested in the show that now it's like, hey, I want to, I'm trying to make a difference on this. Yeah. Randy Riding, St. George Ute. That's perfect. I agree. This format right here is gorgeous, dude.
Yes.
Absolutely perfect, dude. Amazing.
Yeah. I'm
Love
here for it. I'm here for it. The last one looks great. Totally agree.
Yeah. So make sure you download those and we can update those after the show. That's
I know that's the only problem here.
What's wrong?
I have to put it on this sign behind us.
Oh no, it's fine. Just leave the sign. It's fine. The sign is fine. I wouldn't even change it. The sign is fine.
Really badass.
Yeah, the channel art is what that's really what matters. Once people are here, the background is totally clean and fine. It ain't a big deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
It changed it. Real talk, no filter, bold opinions. Oh, it changed it to bold. What did we change? Real talk. It put bold opinion, but it made it made new videos daily red.
Okay. Do you like that or not?
I don't know. Make all the font the same color. Make all the font.
Well, you want it to be white, right?
Yeah.
Make all the
fonts.
Yeah.
White.
Ryan Duffy, can you do a reveal video where you are both wearing Jedi capes? Yeah, see, dude, unfortunately, I don't think that one's probably
We don't do
gonna take
nudes.
place. We're not OF models, so we don't really do that type of content, unfortunately.
New videos daily except Friday and when they are being lazy or playing golf. True. Truth. That's our
facts,
new tagline.
Bro, that's facts.
We need more super chats so they can both put the artwork on the wall behind them. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Super
That's
chat
about
more,
$300.
Listen, like, subscribe, turn the alert bell on, and super chat. Those are the 4 things you can do to support the channel.
Monty, new brand, greater than brand. Pac-12, new brand. Totally agree. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We need to dress up at... we need Monty to dress up at a leprechaun and Jake with an Oregon puffy vest tasting ice cream. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, this felt like a foot picture happened, and I'm not really wanting that.
Okay, so did it update it the correct way?
Yes, it did.
It did. Okay, can we get one final reveal and then we'll move on? One final reveal of what it put out.
This is impressive, Jay. Marcus's kid spawned a whole thing here now.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to upload it right now. And then we'll move on. Yes, please. For the love of all things, God. We're on a mission from Gad. Okay, so here's where we are at.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what we were looking at. New videos weekly.
New videos.
Here's where we are.
Oh, it's better, dude. I see. That's an improvement. Look at that. I love that. Nice.
Red show or white show?
I mean, I like the red show, but I'll tell you what, on this one here,
look at the background.
Like the red lines. Yeah,
look at the microphones in the background on this one.
I love it, dude.
This one's way more vibrant. This one, or this one.
Yeah, I think this one right here.
This one right here.
Yeah, I think this is the one, dude. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this one and this one.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
Yep. We'll update those after the show today. You can do it or you can send them to me and I'll do it. That's fire, dude. I love that. Appreciate you, Jay.
White is more clean and crisp. Yes, it is. The second one. Yes, it is. Black, red, and white are the goated colors in all of sports. Yes, they are.
Couldn't agree more, dude. Great
the
point.
Final with all white font. Yeah, I think that's where we are. That's awesome.
And I love that the lines around the box in the middle where the text is are brighter. The red line, that kind of, you see how that's brighter? I like that a lot. Font's a little bigger. It's nice.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I love it. I'm telling you, I prefer the white one, Alex says. Not the one that looks like a building that got nuked. But do you see in this one that's on the screen, the microphone left above Real Talk has like smoke coming out of it?
Yes.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Monty teaches AI live on the Monty show.
I mean, it's 2 days. I'm telling you, I would be all for one segment a day where we ask ChatGPT to do something. I'm telling you, it's incredibly entertaining to see what AI can do. It really is. Like, it's so capable.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of it. I totally am. All right, couple other things. Let's make sure we keep moving here. Jake's obsession with Mike Vrabel and smashing Diana Rossini continues. What do we Mike Vrabel was in the Salt Lake City airport. And I'm really curious what you guys think. Do we have the Vrabel airport video?
Yes.
Oh, it's the white one. Did this TMZ guy go too far?
Mr. Vrabel, how are you, sir?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. How are you holding up? How are you holding up, man? Look, listen, there's just a lot of talk that, that there's just a little bit of a double standard here, and I just wanted your take on that. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate you.
You're powering through? Are you and your wife hoping to work it out, Mr. Vrabel? Look, I just gotta say, there's some talk that maybe you should step down. It's a distraction to the Patriots. I wanted your opinion on that, sir. What does accountability look like for you at this point, sir? Head coach of the Patriots, big distraction here. Sir, is there any comment at all?
That's a no.
Sir, do you have the support of the Patriots? Full support? Any comment, anything to say to Patriot Nation at all?
Patriot Nation.
All right, good luck.
You're a jerk. That feels too much to me. Like, at what point do we just leave these two alone and let them go on about their life? When did we let this story go?
Never feel strong, but it's going to be a minute.
Never feel strong. So you're in favor of just like haunting these people with their sex lives?
I'm telling you, I've been consistent with this. This story will not die until Rossini speaks, because she's the one that everyone wants to hear from, with all due respect to Mike. So
I'm done with it. I'm done. Unless there's new details about other bros she smashed, I'm done with it. Like, I'm just not here for, hey, I get it. I get it. You had children with Mike Vrabel. Okay, cool.
Allegedly.
Can we get on with it then? Right? Like, that's the innuendo, is that her kids were fathered by Mike Vrabel. I have no idea if that's true or not. I don't care. It's this is none of my business.
You are not the father.
It's a cool story, and I'm sure that Big Nose Kate's going to do a sit-down interview, and everybody's going to watch it, and cool. Mike Vrabel's not getting divorced. There were all these pictures of his wife still wearing her wedding ring. I think she was probably well aware of it. You don't have a 6-year affair, allegedly, with Big Nose Kate and your wife not know. Do you know how almost impossible it'd be to keep that from her?
That's the bottom line.
Like, we're making so much out of this story, right? Sports journalism is becoming tabloid news now. I don't disagree.
Okay,
Took
so
a trip.
yeah.
He didn't go in the V. Probably Mike Vrabel. Joey Bin, Colorado. Big Nose Kate, LMAO, friggin' Monty. Well, and the lie detector determined.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
In the comment section, do you guys believe Mike Vrabel fathered Big Nose Kate's children? I do.
Yes.
I do not question. Did they have sex?
Dude.
Did they have sex? Yes. Was it for 6 years? Yes. Do the timeline of fertilization match her children? Yes. It's plausible. I don't care.
Well, that's the difference, dude.
I truly do not care.
You're the one. You're the one.
How much do you care about this story?
I mean, I think it's a fascinating story. I do. I think that, yeah, we're at a point where now it's reached I'm not sure why TMZ chose yesterday to go after Vrabel.
Because they knew where he was and when he would be there.
Yeah, well, maybe so. But I think that at some point, again, like I said, it's a great story. I'm not in the place where I'm saying I don't care about it. I absolutely care about it. I think it's the best and worst of times. It's the best of times in the sense that it's the NFL and it's the Patriots and it's them being engrossed in a scandal. It's the worst of times that the scandal happens to be, home wrecking and marriage destroying and kids and that whole deal. Obviously, nobody wants that for anybody. But the reality is no, I don't feel sympathy for these people. No, I don't. I think that you guys
don't have any ounce of empathy for these two.
You are a grown-ass adult with grown-ass resources, and you made a decision. And you made that decision time and time and time again, to the point where we're speculating about whether your significant others knew about that decision.
I have a lot of empathy for this. They work in the NFL. It's the only reason we know that they're smashing. That's it. If they were not famous, are we entitled to know about Mike Vrabel's sex life?
No, but he made it public by doing this.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Mike Vrabel,
he's cheating on his wife.
Mike Vrabel did nothing to make this public. Mike Vrabel went to Sabona, Arizona to smash Big Nose Kate, and a PI just so happened to be a professional photographer. Whatever happened, they were photographed at a private retreat on a rooftop. And now we get this.
The 4-year-old Mike Vrabel, you are the father.
I told you, Mike.
And now we get this, because he went to Sabona, Arizona and smashed Big Nose Kate.
Yeah,
now
sorry, dude. We disagree on his on whatever entitlement, or should we know or not know. If you were, listen, we don't have a right to know about your sex life with your wife behind closed doors in a private setting in your own home. No, like there's a certain privacy level everyone's entitled to.
But
if
you're cheating on your wife, we have every right to know you're cheating on your wife, and we should crucify you for it. Cheating on your wife is unethical and the wrong thing to do, and you chose to take that activity to a retreat that, while yes, it may have been private, the open public has access to it. It's unethical for you. It's unethical for me. It's clearly not unethical for Big Nose Kate and Mike Vrabel.
Okay.
Isn't that what we're doing? We're trying to impose our ethics on these people, and we're demonizing them.
Is it right or wrong to cheat on your wife? It's clearly wrong.
For the Vrabels and for the Rosinis, clearly it is not wrong.
Well, so then by that logic,
I just don't judge people, man. If you want to go smash Big Nose Kate, go for it. Understand that your actions have consequences. But those consequences shouldn't be crucifixion in the media and having bro follow you around the airport asking if you're going to resign.
But why is it that way, dude? What do they have that the average Joe doesn't have?
They have great influence, which comes with great responsibility.
You have wealth, you have influence, you have privilege, you have everything that you need to do not to mess it up and basically live life on autopilot. It's not my fault that you chose to go and cheat on your wife. That's not my fault. And I just, Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm a firm believer, have been for years on this show, that athlete, celebrity, person, politician, person of affluence who has money, has everything they need to live a perfectly quality life if they would just focus on their job, focus on their family, focus on their marriage and their own well-being.
The only issue I have here, and why I don't disagree with Diana Rossini no longer having her job, is because she's a journalist. You covered the NFL for The Athletic and the New York Times. You can't smash coaches in the NFL while doing that.
Right.
Will she ever work again?
Remains to be seen. Yeah, I don't know.
She'll never be paid as a journalist again. I don't
agree
think.
With that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Will she be on TV and be a podcast host? I'm sure she will. But other than that, I have no issue with it, because I just because I don't subscribe to their behavior, I would never cheat on my wife. But my guess is Jen Vrabel had an idea this was happening. And even if she didn't, that's between her and Mike Vrabel. I don't understand our obsession with wrecking people, but we love it in this country. We love it. We absolutely love it. But and the worst part is we won't out all of the terrible sexual people, just people like Mike Vrabel and Big Nose Kate, because they're not senators or people of affluence. Is that what we're saying?
No, we're saying that we're saying that those people that you're referencing on certain documents are not being outed because there's too many people, other people involved who benefit from them not being outed. The reason that these two are catching the flack that they're catching is because it's entertainment for us. It's pure entertainment. It's pure. It's
the destruction of people's lives is pure entertainment. That's what I struggle with. You're exactly right. People get great entertainment out of this.
Mm-hmm.
I do not.
Oh.
Their kids are being tortured in school over this. I just don't think that's right. Now, we all make decisions. We're adults. Well, if you didn't want your kids to get bullied, probably shouldn't have smashed Big Nose Kate. Truth. Don't disagree at all. Totally agree. Part of the price of fame and money is the loss of privacy. Very true. That's a very high tax. You got to ask yourself if it's worth it. Totally agree. Sedona, Arizona. Absolutely the truth. Dude, Sedona, Arizona is beautiful. If you've never been. AI Vrabel is still better than the Pac-12 marketing logo. Truth.
Agreed.
A lot of truth on this show today. Urban Meyer is asking for Rossini's number.
Come on, dude.
You know, the story really isn't that cheap, and he may have cheated even if their spouses knew. It's then the breadcrumbs along the way that actually impact their professions, like interviews or info leaks. Truth.
Yep.
Yeah. Saboner is clearly the smash capital. Yes, it is. See, smash cap.
Right. That's a Big 12 reference. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know. Do we care this much about James's ex-wife, the Walmart manager, smashing the other Walmart manager?
No.
We don't.
No.
We don't. Joey says Saboner, Arizona might be a top 5 Montyism on this show. Could be. Didn't she smash Sean Payton and Sean McVay in the Redskins GM? I have no idea. I don't think so. Not Sean Payton.
Even for Rossini, there are standards, dude. There are
Sean
standards.
Payton. We love to see people succeed and then watch them fall apart. The Schadenfreude is real. Look at the Tiger discussion. What is going on with my camera? I don't know. If they pay for their kids and don't raise psychos, I don't care. Well, I really, it was cool on the surface. And then we went too far with it. That's what I feel like. Am I being wrong? Am I? Or you just hate human beings and you don't care about their happiness.
I don't hate human beings at all. But I also don't listen. I just don't think that we're putting enough weight on their decision here. Like in their decision, do you understand how normalized this was for them? Like how just part of the day-to-day this was for them? Like this is just,
they allegedly had a 6-year affair.
Like I'm telling you, we want to talk about morals and ethics and destroying people's lives, and we'll talk about it in their light, in what they did, in what all
totally
the impact
agreed.
they had. That's where I think it's just a difference in philosophy. Like I agree that there of course with any story, including this one, there are limits and levels to it, and how far you should take it or not take. Like the Sean Payton crap is just Twitter keyboard warrior guy. I don't believe for a second that Diana slept with Sean Payton. I just don't believe that. I would honestly be shocked by that, dumbfounded by that. But I just think that in our society right now, with how pervasive sex is and like, OF models and just how available it is to us, this type of thing hits home so hard for so many people because loads of people have been cheated on. Loads of people have gone through this. Loads of people
No,
dude.
Loads of people would love to smash Diana Rosini.
And yes, that as well. Yes, of course. Yes, absolutely. So
that's why people care.
Yeah. So I mean, I just think it's no. I guess maybe I'm wrong for it, but I don't feel bad for these two. I think that
I don't feel bad. I have empathy for the destruction that people are trying to put upon them.
Yeah.
I have empathy for it. I feel for them. I can imagine how difficult. I can imagine that Diana Rossini is not a real happy chick right now. I can imagine that. I can imagine that. Again, I go back to Jen Vrabel. How did she find out? Let's assume that they were living the marital bliss life. That she had no idea he was smashing Big Nose Kate. She had no idea he was in Sabona, Arizona, when he was supposed to be at the Biltmore in Scottsdale. How did she find out her husband was having a multi-year affair where he possibly fathered that woman's children? That would be crushing. And I think about his kids, and I think about her kids, and I think about her husband. I don't know. There's something weird with her husband. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Don't know if we'll ever know what that is, but I agree there is something weird there.
That seems out there a little bit.
And then there's the Chris Sims NBC thing.
Oh, that's right. Before we get to Pavia. Ooh. What do you make of this? Did Chris Sims get fired because of this exchange?
Story in the NFL. I wouldn't. I'd shoot you straight. These are things that I've been texting with about my friend with my friends in the coaching world. Even their wives are involved in the conversation.
Stay on
as
target.
well.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Be careful. I'm trying to. You ever see Star Wars? You see Star Wars?
Yeah.
As Luke is going down the I don't know. I'm not enough of a Star Wars nerd to know all the terms, but his wingman is telling him stay on target.
Right.
I'm just giving you. I don't look. There's a lot there, and there's only so much that is reported and known, and that's. I'm just trying to help.
All right. In Star Wars, did they tell that they have a thing called "shut up" and just let the person talk? How about that? Tell me that and read that line back.
I'm just trying to help you.
Did he get fired for that? Because 2 weeks later, he's fired. He won't return to Sunday Night Football. Do you think, Jake, he got fired for what he said there about Rossini and Vrabel?
I mean, I have a hard time believing it's just that single exchange, but I'm guessing that exchange fractured a relationship, did damage in some form or fashion. I don't know what that looks like, but I just
remember Mike Florio's an attorney. I think that matters here. Because Mike Florio was essentially saying, hey, we don't know the facts here. This is what I've been saying about this whole affair thing for the month we've been talking about it. You can't talk about things as though they're facts. And that's what Mike Florio was trying to say. Hey, we're going to get sued. And then he told Florio to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I would agree with you. I don't think it's what Sims said. I think it was that exchange and how that damaged to things.
Yeah, and I think that you know, because it's certainly not Chris Sims' coverage. I mean, I actually really like him on Sunday Night Football. I think he does a really good job for what they ask him to do. But I think that you can't look, if there's one thing I've learned, you can't, even when you're annoyed, you can't be like, hey, like stop talking, or like, you know, the way he snapped back at him, I think just was a little rough. And
yeah,
you know, I think that I've never been a big consumer of their show or whatever, that particular part of their content, but you know, they've been doing it for a while. But yeah, I mean, I just think Chris Sims is he's one of those guys that's a second tier bro. Like, he's a good talent, clearly a good contributor, but not a must have. And
second tier bro.
Yeah. So like, if you're not a must have and you're going against the grain with Mike, I mean, that's probably not going to end well for you.
Hell with him. He's a second tier bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a number one talent.
He's not smashing Big Nose Kate.
Yeah, he's not Vrabel. By the way, anybody taking positions on whether Mike Vrabel is going to take a leave of absence?
You just dismissed Chris Sims as a second tier bro.
Am I wrong? Is that an inaccurate assertion of his role with NBC?
He's a second tier bro.
Who the fuck are you?
Like,
leave of absence. You think he's taking a leave of absence?
Many people think a leave of absence is coming, or a resignation is coming at some point.
I hope he doesn't resign. Come on.
What was the point of doing the presser if you're just going to resign? That's what I don't understand.
I really hope he doesn't resign. That's too much now.
Like, what was the point of him going full, that's private, and I'm not talking about it, if you were just going to resign?
Yeah, that's too much now.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. It's a little ridiculous. Wow, the sun's up this morning here in Seattle. It's a little ridiculous if you have him resign.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Come on, let's not get crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like, second tier. Second tier bro. Jake-ism number 14. Jake with the second tier bro comment.
Bro, you got to do something with this sun right now, bro. Bro's disappeared into the darkness because of the sun, dude.
God damn it.
Let's see. Not sure he got fired from Sunday Night because of that. For months, NBC was saying changes were coming. If he also got fired from his show online with Flo too, then yeah, that would have been the reason. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, as a second tier bro, I think he did a great job for NBC, but you know, it is it's definitely questionable. I don't think you beef. Yeah, it looks way better, dude. Thank you for saving us.
Is that better?
Yes, it's miles better, and your camera appreciates you too.
Well, it's never sunny in Seattle.
I know, that's the trouble. It's literally never sunny there, but then the one day, that's the hard part. It's almost like you need battery-powered blinds or something for that one day.
Power blinds, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It is actually very beautiful.
Yeah.
Isn't Vrabel then Rosini's second tier bro? I believe he is.
No, I think it's the other way around, dude. One of them still got a job. The other one doesn't.
So wait, she should get in the kitchen then. Who are you, James?
I mean, she's second tier compared to Vrabel because he's still got a job and she doesn't. That's the reality.
Well, he's also the head coach in an NFL Super Bowl championship.
I agree completely. I agree. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Dude that abides. Freedom of the press protects journalists from government repercussions, not liberal lawsuits. Conundrum. Do we read conundrum comments?
You're the comment guy. It's up to you, bro.
Monty's blinds, use them. Well, yeah.
But it is true. It's only literally like, I'm not exaggerating. And maybe it's because it's been winter in the PNW, but it's like one day a month where it's actually like no clouds, sunny.
Yeah. Randy says at least Locked On Big 12 has blinds.
Well,
yeah.
You know, it's not in our budget, you know.
Super chat, I'll get some blinds.
Yeah, maybe you guys could super chat a little more and we would be, you know.
I listen, the weather here is bizarre. It really is. Let's rip Diego Pavia. I mean, talk about Diego Pavia, second tier bro guy.
What's up, little dude?
Are you guys surprised that Diego Pavia got an NFL deal? I'm really surprised, especially after stuff like this, where he's in a strip club. Like, what are we doing? And you're signing this guy, and then the week leading up to the draft, he's also releasing more strip club videos. Have you already forgotten about Johnny Manziel?
No, he said he took advice from Johnny Manziel. Like, he said that in the past. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand. Let's be real, dude. The Ravens are going the wrong direction. Okay, let's just be really honest about this.
Wow.
John Harbaugh's gone. You said he wasn't good enough anymore, even though he had you in the playoffs literally every year. So John Harbaugh wasn't good enough anymore. Now, you thought it was a good idea to put Pavia on this roster, even though I think he's a terrible teammate and terrible for your locker room, but it remains to be seen what he looks like as a pro. And now we're in a situation where what's going to happen when you get off to a slow start and you're in a worse place than you were with John? Because the risk of that, in my opinion, is extremely high. Like, more than likely high. That's what I'm curious about, dude. I don't understand. What was the point here? Were you going to, you were just signing him because you wanted to take a flyer, I guess. You just thought, oh man, we'll sign him to a small 3-year deal. And if he goes to Magic City, if he goes to this or that, we don't care. Is that it? I mean, I just don't understand that logic, dude. I can't, it doesn't track with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that tracks. I would never have signed Diego Pavia. I would never have done that. I just think that it's really difficult. And this is just my opinion. It's really difficult if we are going to sit here and judge the Ravens, because I think the Ravens, I would agree, are going in the wrong direction. I tend to agree with that. I just don't know how do you fix that? You don't sign Diego Pavia. That's certainly, that's one way you cannot fix it, is by, I mean, it's ridiculous to me. It's absolutely ridiculous to me that you sign this dude. Like, that is a stunning mistake, in my opinion.
Couldn't agree more, dude.
And
could not agree more.
I don't know how you explain that. I really don't know how you explain that.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see the logic in it. For the Ravens, I don't understand. You know, what you thought you were going to get with him. You know, what was the value? I mean, is he literally, are you just saying, all right, we'll sign him for a small deal, he'll hold the clipboard, he'll be like our number 5 option off the bench? Is that what you're saying? That's
essentially what you're saying?
I mean, that has to be the play, right? That you're just he'll never see the field. He'll be, you know, the quarterback that your defense practices against, and that'll be that. Like, if that's the play, I guess that's cool.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. I'm not trying to cast doubt on him before his career even starts. But when have you ever seen a guy like this come through and be legit? When have we ever seen Johnny Manziel going to Vegas with his iPad on the plane?
Yeah, it's a good question.
And have him come out the other side and be legit? Because I don't think I've ever seen that. I've never seen a guy like Diego Pavia, even just the fact that it's his size that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've ever seen that. And my real struggle, and it'll continue to be this, why do we make these decisions? What is the upside here? Can you explain to me what the upside and why you just had to do this? And we had to with Diego Pavia. Like, are you saying you had no other choice?
I'm giving you a fucking answer.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, they clearly had other choices and just chose not to. I mean, you could have signed a myriad of guys, and that's why I say, like, we wonder why this organization hasn't been able to break through yet. Like, it's not a secret, man. This is the same organization that hitched their wagon to Lamar Jackson. And don't get me wrong, Lamar's a hell of a player, dude. MVP caliber talent, just not a winner. Just not a Super Bowl caliber winner. Now, playoff game winner, sure, man, he can win playoff games for you. But being a Super Bowl winner is totally different. So to me, it's like, I was shocked, genuinely. But when you get into it, you're like, yeah, it's the Ravens. Not particularly surprised. That's the thing.
They don't have the best background in developing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. They don't have the how shall we say track record of being amazing at developing quarterbacks.
Okay, now I got to make a blinds adjustment, dude. This is crazy right now, bro.
Why? What did I do now?
No, me.
Oh wow, yeah, look at you.
Blasting me, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you. This is weird to have whatever this light bulb in the sky is shining in the PN It's very strange there you go. It's very strange to have the sun, just blasting through.
Yeah, it's a rare occurrence.
So, which is fine. It's actually supposed to be, do you guys understand it's supposed to be like 80 degrees this weekend in Seattle?
God, is it really?
Yes. It's supposed to be 80 degrees in Seattle this weekend, which is just incredible. Jake is about to be raptured. Are you going to be raptured?
I was heading to the light, dude.
Well, maybe if you guys weren't a poverty program, you could afford blinds.
Yeah,
2 vampires running for shade.
I mean, literally, dude, it's always so dark and gloomy, bro. Like, anytime the sun comes out, it's you got to escape, man.
Currently cloudy in Cave Creek. Okay. It's raining this weekend, and we have a parade to do.
Venice parade.
It's miserable when it rains during parades.
Yeah, have fun with that, dude.
I hate that. Hey, Jake, turn around, bright eyes.
Dude, I was literally, my eyes were spotting a little bit from the light. That's not even an exaggeration.
Yeah, I don't know the, yeah, it's fine. Does Jake face north so Monty can hear him better in Seattle? He does.
Right. Yeah, it's all about the alignment and whatnot, Right.
I think one reason Harbaugh left the Ravens is because he was ready to move on from Lamar. I think that's they'll never win with Lamar Jackson.
No.
Never will they win, which is not what I would say about Trevor Bauer on the Chicago Cubs. Why did you sigh so heavily? What was that about?
The Bauer thing is frustrating, dude. The guy... You want to have empathy? This is your story where you can roll out the empathy train. I think that this dude got absolutely piped by Major League Baseball and that Padre fan. Like again, just because you don't like what he does behind closed doors sexually, in terms of like what she claimed versus what actually happened, and
right,
like there's no reason he should have been blacklisted for Major League Baseball. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Do you think I don't think he'll ever play in Major League Baseball again.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he just threw this. It was all over social media. Throws a 7-inning no-hitter the other day. And dominant performance.
Dominantly.
Yeah, dominant performance, no question. And the guy can still pitch, clearly. No question about it. Still a major league caliber pitcher, dude. And I don't know. I don't know if he ever sees a major league roster again. And I have to say, I feel like there's been enough time that's passed now that it's not like a flammable thing to have him on your roster anymore. Like, yeah, is it a story that had happened? Yeah, but like, I don't feel like it's.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think it's a really harsh thing that they did to him.
Oh, that I agree with. That I 100%. I think he got crushed. And I think, unfortunately, they were very happy to crush him. And I think it's just a matter of them. I don't want to make this a thing where we, like, I'm looking at his career stats, you guys, his numbers are incredible. Like, I just think it's really unfortunate that we don't, I don't know, man. I think it's really unfortunate we don't give people a second chance because we don't. This is Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. We're not going to give them a second chance because we don't like what their proclivities in the bedroom are. You know what I mean? Like I struggle with that. I really, really struggle with that. And Trevor Bauer should be in the big leagues. Trevor Bauer should be a Major League Baseball player. And a judge laughed his accuser out of court. And he is still blacklisted. And I don't know how you fix it.
You don't. You do what he's doing, man. You do what he's doing. It's make the content, keep going on the journey, and it is what it is, dude.
Yes, Slopes fan Gabe. A, good to see you. B, he is in Kaepernick territory now. I mean, he's pitched all over the world, and with the exception of 1 year in Japan, he was dominant. I mean, he was dominant in Mexico. He's clearly dominant in independent ball. Now, it's independent ball. Like,
still,
it's a no-hitter. I don't care who you are. A pitcher on a mound with guys with bats in their hands, that's a no-hitter.
Yeah. Guys with bats in their hands that are paid to hit baseballs, that's a no-hitter, dude.
Yeah. It is far too easy to ruin somebody's life. And that, again, not to be redundant, we take joy in ruining people's lives. We take joy in it. And I'll never understand it. I will never, ever, ever understand. What is, how do I say this? What is Trevor Bauer's crime? Why is he not a major leaguer?
Optics. That's it.
Nothing based in fact.
Nothing legally. Nope. I think at the time it was so radioactive because it was up the, the domestic issues alley initially. And then the he said, she said happened. Bauer gets her laughed out of court through the text message evidence and everything. And then it just kind of died. There wasn't ever that snap back for Trevor. And that's what I think is difficult is like,
totally
you can't
agree.
tell me he didn't have his agent out here calling everybody saying, hey, like, this is what happened, man. Why can he not get back on a roster? And it's really difficult. I think, I do think that we need to be careful comparing Trevor Bauer and Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. I think that the situations couldn't be more different. Trevor Bauer was not in a relationship, was not married, was just a ball player, having fun with a girl, and that girl tried to take advantage of him and steal his money. So I think that's a completely different situation from an obligatory standpoint than Vrabel and Rosini. And I think that it's kind of odd to me that he's been blacklisted the way he has. I don't really understand it in Major League Baseball. Blacklisting topics would be PEDs and criminal activity. Those two things.
I think
gambling as well. Yes, agreed. Would get you blacklisted. But this is like just a unique thing where it's like, yeah, he's just not. And it could just be that maybe not enough executives in the league like him as a dude. Like just generally, they don't feel like it's all that worth it. There are other arms, maybe. Who the hell knows, man? But I just am still shocked that he couldn't even get like a 1 year league minimum tryout deal, basically. I'm shocked that he wasn't even able to get a training camp invite. Like Just come out and give us some innings in training camp in spring training, and let's see what you can do. Like that to me is still surprising.
And the guy's still got movement and velocity. That's the part that you hate. He's got movement and velocity. He can clearly still pitch.
Yeah.
And yet he will not be allowed to play in the big leagues. And I just don't know. I feel like it's criminal what they're doing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like it's again, we don't like when people have sex. We really don't like when rich people have sex. And I truly think we are so uncomfortable with the topic of sex that we just won't even broach it. We won't even come back to it. We won't even give him a second chance. And I just don't understand that. And you're looking at a guy that, his 2 years in Japan, he was pretty good. He was pretty good. I mean, 2023, he was arguably the best pitcher in Japan at 10-4 with a 2.76, 19 games, 130 innings, 130 strikeouts. Sub 2 ERA in the stretch, down the stretch. It was his 2025 was not good. But his time in Mexico, dude, he was incredible. He can still pitch.
Yep.
And I don't know why they just won't give the guy a shot. The Dodgers just got done paying Bauer. Part of it, maybe he does not want to go for MLB because it may have cost him that money. Oh, no, I think he's been openly trying to get a job for sure. Would the Big Nose Kate thing be such a big deal if she were not a reporter? Certainly not. Well, if she were just a random hot chick, the story would be minor. The ethics question is what makes it big.
Well, of course, of course, their celebrity makes it a bigger story. I mean, I think you're putting it lightly, though, just to call her a reporter. I mean, that lacks all context in terms of who she was in the league, the relationships that she had. Her credibility in the league was second to none. Her reporting was excellent. Like she wasn't just another reporter. She was one of the best in terms of information and accuracy. She was very good at what she did.
Yes.
But the problem is that performance track record obviously is now tarnished by the Vrabel story. And so, yeah, of course, her celebrity and, the things she has said about her husband and the podcast and all the things that she's done, built a bit of a reputation for herself. Whether she was trying to do that or not, I have no idea. I doubt it. But, you just look at her and you say, yeah, like kind of a shame, man. She was really good at what she did. I don't believe that she's the person that was just sleeping with everybody and all of that. I think her and Mike had a thing, and that thing went too far and they got caught. And now you're paying the price. And it's unfortunate, but you made the bed, dude. And that's just how that's how life is in a lot of different instances, man. You missed it this morning. The gambling thing, you can only go so far with that, dude. You can only go so far when you're with infidelity. You can only go so far with certain portions of life and eventually run out of runway. And that's what happened.
Think sex makes people uncomfortable. That's what I think. The punter that had a similar issue got a chance, Matt Ariza, who was falsely accused of sexual assault. Correct. Twins should grab Bauer. No, the Cubs. We need a pitcher.
I will say one of the key differences between Ariza and Bauer is that in Ariza's case, it was not. You got to remember the context of what Bauer and that girl were doing together was definitely taboo to the normal person. Like the things that were talked about, the type of activities they were engaging in were definitely out there a little bit. Yes. And I think that's what's contributed to his image kind of being questionable. Ariza was just a cut and dry, hey, she said this happened. It never happened. There's no evidence that it happened. And that's it.
And so Trevor, and to be blunt, Trevor's an asshole. There's a lot of people who don't like Trevor Bauer.
Which doesn't help him.
No, not at all. I agree. Rosini blew it figuratively and literally. Again, allegedly.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's amazing Trevor can't pitch considering what some of these teams will do to win. And the multiple playoff teams need him. Multiple contenders need him, right? Lopes fan Gabe, from a pure teaching, learning, pitching perspective, Bauer's vlog content is
no
elite.
question about it, dude.
I am a
no question
consumer.
about it.
I am a consumer, 100%. 100%. All right. Cooper Flagg won the Rookie of the Year. Is anybody watching the NBA playoffs?
Nope.
What are you watching at night?
I mean, it depends on the night, I guess. A little bit of hockey, a little bit.
Good to see the Oilers showed up last night.
Yeah, a little bit of hockey. Retreading Game of Thrones. And just got done watching Paradise on Hulu, which was phenomenal. If you haven't watched that, that's a great show. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. I don't have, obviously you're aware of this, don't have hours and hours at night to be watching a ton of stuff. But when I do, it's typically either sports or a show. That's it.
I am watching. Last night I watched a Cubs game. So I went to the range to work on my shitty golf swing. Came home, hung out with the wife while she was in the kitchen.
The wife.
Pull. Can we talk about Whole Foods real quick?
Oh, God. What is it this time?
Please don't go into Whole Foods and be that guy. This dude. This fucking guy. I was in the self-checkout last night. I went to Whole Foods and got 2 apples, a couple of bags of salad mix for my wife, and some smoked turkey and provolone from the deli. Some some
provolone, some gabagool.
Gabagool. I'm in the self-checkout line. And this guy runs up to the cashier line, cuts in front of everybody, because all I'm buying is like these 3 russet potatoes. And he legitimately was trying to he walked up to the front of the line. He's like, hey, can you just check me out real quick? All I have is these 3 potatoes. And the lady he cut in front of was like, excuse me. That's what got my attention. Excuse me. Just like that. And the cashier said, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to wait in line. And now I'm just putting my stuff in the brown bag. They charge me 20 cents for it, Whole Foods. Now I'm just putting my groceries into the bag, tapping my phone. And I'm watching this unfold. And he's like, what is the big deal? It's 3 potatoes.
Did he say potatoes or potatoes?
Potatoes. It's distinctly heard him say potatoes.
Okay.
I'd have helped him out if he'd have said potatoes.
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
He would not take no for an answer. And here's the part that I hate. A manager came over and was like, hey man, just step over here. I'll ring you up right here. How about that? And you could see the people shaking their heads and like, because it was the reason I went to self-checkout, it was a long line of people not wanting to use self-checkout. And they only have 1 register open. So the manager takes the jerk off who cut the line and rang him up, and the guy left. So you rewarded the guy's bad behavior. Like, don't be that guy. I don't understand in Seattle, why are you a jerk and how come you can't drive? Those 2 things are beyond mystical. I go to a golf course where it's packed all the time. I get there at 5:30 and there's nowhere to park. But there's always that one guy in his Rivian pickup truck who's taken up 2.5 spaces. I'll never understand. I had to walk a country mile to get into the driving range last night. I had to park in a different parking lot. It was so busy. And then I had to wait 15 minutes just to get a stall. And so then you take 2.5 parking spots. He parked in the middle of 2 spots and then pulled too far forward, blocking another spot. I should get to go full bunker buster on your Rivian at that point. Like, whatever. Self-checkout should give you a discount. I shouldn't have to pay for paper bags. Yes,
But why?
He diffused the prick situation. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm Whole Foods has lost the vibe for me. I understand it's huge in Seattle. I get why you go there, but it's that's just such an a-hole move, dude.
I don't have a lot of grocery store choices of quality.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. Here's what happened. Why did I end up at Whole Foods last night? We did a grocery delivery. Hey, we need some smoked turkey. They deliver it in a vacuum sealed bag that's essentially full of water, and it doesn't taste like smoked turkey. And
why was it full of water?
Bro, I have no idea. Because that's what this thing. I just work here. So I go to Whole Foods last night, get great service. The deli counter was great. The produce lady helped me pick out apples. She had a fresh box of apples, these Honeycrisp apples. She's like, hey, I have a box right here. Why don't you pick from these? These are brand new. All right, great. Literally, she said that to me. I'm looking at this table, and she clearly saw me. I picked one up, put it down, picked another one up, put it down. She's like, hey, I have this fresh box of brand new. Why don't you pick? Great. Great service. And then Johnny Dickweed has to go up there and be like, oh, I've only got 3 potatoes. What's the big deal?
Anytime bro pulls the what's the big deal card, you know you're going to have problems.
You know. Chuck says, sadly, I'm watching my Pistons piss it all away on the AC.
Embarrassing, dude. It's embarrassing, bro.
Bro, do you guys understand how big tonight is for the Lakers?
Yeah.
Austin Reeves is supposedly going to play. This is a huge night for the Lakers. They need to close tonight. They are better than the Rockets. You are certainly better than them at crypto. The Lakers need to close tonight.
Certainly.
Stanley Cup and baseball, baby, and throw away the remote. I love watching Cubs baseball. Love it. Love it. Yeah, what a jerk for sure. If I was the manager, I would have done the same thing. Then at the end of the transaction would have said, thank you for your purchase. You're no longer welcome here. Yeah, it's so frustrating. Freshly caught from the sound, turkey. Okay. Can you guys kill animals and eat them?
No.
I don't think I could do that. I'm soft. Surprised he actually paid in Seattle. Stealing 3 potatoes isn't even a misdemeanor. It's not true. There's this weird belief that Seattle's just like a lawless town. It's not. Do we have issues? Yes. I say we. I've lived here for 6 months.
Long enough.
But Seattle's not unsafe. It's not any different than any other major metro. My wife and I walk to dinner regularly. I walk my dog 3 times a day. I don't like the open drug use, but I can tell you what, they're not focused on me. They're focused on their tinfoil. You know, if it's life or death, sorry, Bambi. Well, sure.
Yeah, that's a different conversation, dude.
If it's life or death,
if it's nuclear fallout, yeah, Bambi's not going to make it to the end of the day. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to put one in you.
Yeah.
That's it? Okay. Finally. Can we talk about this shit right here? Will you stop feeding yourself and your dog raw
Why
food?
is this such a hot to trot thing, dude? Why can't people say, okay, hey, I have a dog. Wow. There's a myriad of great options for healthy dog food. Why not just get the healthy dog food? Why go full, raw meat, cool kids club diet? I just will never understand this, dude.
I don't get it.
This is my dog Natsu, and today we say goodbye to him after a long battle with illness that happened to start after switching over to a commercial raw dog food, and I want to share his story so other dog owners are informed. A few years ago, Natsu was a healthy dog, and at one point we switched his food to a raw poultry diet found in a popular chain store here in Spain. After a few weeks on that diet, Natsu suddenly became paralyzed. He was diagnosed with poly, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks the nerves and can cause dogs to lose the ability to walk. The vets told us they couldn't say for certain the cause, but the timing timing, the food change, it was all pointing to a bacteria commonly found in raw poultry, Campylobacter, which has been linked to cases of paralysis. And after months of care, Natsu slowly learned to walk again, but not long after that, he was diagnosed with another autoimmune disease called immune-mediated hemolytic anemia. And this can happen when the immune system becomes strongly activated. It can sometimes become misdirected and attack multiple parts of the body, and in this case, his red blood cells. To treat that, he was given a strong immunosuppressant medication called cyclosporine. While it helped control the anemia over...
You get my drift. You killed your dog, lady.
You did.
You did this because,
this.
We got to get this raw food. Stop drinking raw foods. Stop drinking raw milk. Stop eating raw meat. Stop steak tartare. Nah, bruh. Not doing it. Stop doing this. It's not good for you. It's killing people. It's killing people. Killing people. I went to Ruth's Chris over the weekend. Didn't eat a raw steak, did I? No. I'm not dead. Am I? No.
It's pretty cut and dry to me, Monty.
Why are you feeding your dogs raw dog food?
By the way, notice the subtle little point in that video. A commercial raw dog meat food found at a local store here in Spain. Dude.
But this is a trend. I got into this a little bit the other night when I sent you this story. This is not new. People feed their dogs, particularly raw chicken, all the time.
Yeah.
In this country and in other countries. Stop doing that.
Okay. This is the problem, dude. So dogs are capable of being on a diet like that. The problem is that you can't just roll out a pound of raw ground beef for a dog. That's not going to end well for the dog, dude. There's a process and a reason. Like some people do it. Like if you live in a super rural area but if you live a normal life, there is literally zero reason to have your dog on a raw food diet. Like
don't get it.
It's so dumb. And to me, it's even stupider when you consider that you have a ton of great fresh dog food options that are healthy for your dog, that will power your dog, that will, if you feed your dog that combined with regular exercise, your dog will live a long, happy life. It's not that difficult to keep your dog in good health, dude. Like I've said this for ages. Don't overfeed your dog. Take your dog on a walk or get him to the dog park a couple times a week. Your dog will be the happiest dog in the world. You will never have problems.
No worries.
But instead, what do? We overfeed our dogs. We give our dogs too many treats. We give them raw dog food. We don't exercise. Like it's beyond me.
6% of dog owners feed their dog raw food.
Yes.
6%. Fuck off. You guys, Why? You know it's dangerous. If you drink raw milk, if you eat raw beef, if you eat raw chicken, if you know it's dangerous. Why do it? I'll never understand it. It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense.
I think most people do it because they feel like they can save money on dog food doing it. That's, in my opinion, why most people try to do it.
Listen, as somebody, I've owned dogs for the last 20 years, 30 years. Dogs are not that expensive to own until they get sick from raw food or a thing on their face. But that's different. The point is, you did this to yourself, and I don't feel sorry for you.
No.
I don't feel so. There's way too much good food on the market for your dog that you don't need to feed them raw food.
Nope.
Way back before the invention of fire, everyone ate food that was raw and organic. Life expectancy was 25 if you were lucky.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel, dude? Like, why are you trying to do things that just don't need to be done? Like, I just don't understand it.
It's the exact same thing of people feeding their dogs chicken bones, chocolate. They think that just because their specific dog could handle it, it's okay. No,
it's not.
Wait, you think Americans are smart? No, I've seen the election results. We're not.
Let's not go down that path. We were having a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. All right.
Yeah.
There you have it. The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. More on Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini tomorrow.
That'll be the lead tomorrow. I'll find a way to work that story back in. Sorry, Chris Sims. Better luck next time. Diana, look forward to hearing the interview when that comes out.
Lakers are going to win tonight, Jake?
Yes.
Bet. Clear risk-free advice right now at 27,365 at theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.